full of trials and tribulations.
Yeah. Shabbat Shalom.
Trials and tribulation, not knowing of the call from Shamayim said to embrace us. Mama hard working, daddy said I was his world. House running from dysfunction, top it off the only girl. No identity, cause I was ridiculed by the best of them. Riding on me daily, cause they bring so dope and dressing them. $80 at the thrift store, got us set for school. Yet I desired lives of others, thinking they estates was cool. Teachers paying AP on a roll, and she consistently the nerd. Yet from the comfort of my home, I wanted free. Dummy, what life was, but I got in the sky. Seeking call and love of people, time and time I compromise. Then I heard the voice of a man whose message shook the nation. Condemning life cause I knew it, giving me a new perspective. Rock beat as Angel Rose, all that time having my protection. Her face and deep beside my life's exterior reflection. Wasn't taught to see your problem, ties of life rise and fall. Friend the fuck I hung around, blind like me could make no call. Mama loved me as I was, though she said she was displeased. Daddy fighting his own demons, drunk with sorrow, he can't see that I.
My whole life, yeah, I found something better. Back to the world, no, there ain't nothing else that's for me. Say goodbye to friends and family. To go with all of heat. Be clear, find suffering, there ain't nothing better. You after you born to get myself together for eternity. My bitch will call be the whole sunshine I eat. And his eternal peace. You call me to love. You call me to peace. I want to be free and I love you. You call me to love. You call me to peace. I want to be free and I love you.
Okay, don't want no time to dwell upon my thoughts of past. Keep my eyes set on the future, looking back I will not last. Let others laugh, keep it moving home, no only thoughts of your world. Remember my ancestors was written to show what they earned. Don't you, there's a purpose and a method to this madness. Steps under in my test, welcome correction without gladness. So free, I'm not alone, keep the faith and soon I'll be free. One unit at a time, being transformed by grace and mercy. Be consistent in my journey, assuring the base secure. Times when I become uncertain, gave alarming to secure. Friends and family said to be blind, his lessons helped me see. Dobbery, a vital weapon, gets inside desiring me, so I.
My whole life, yeah, I found something better. Back to the world, no, there ain't nothing else that's for me. Say goodbye to friends and family. To go with all of heat. Be clear, find suffering, there ain't nothing better. You after you work to get myself together for eternity. My bitch will call be the whole sunshine I eat. And his eternal peace. My whole life, yeah, I found something better. Back to the world, no, there ain't nothing else that's for me. Say goodbye to friends and family. To go with all of heat. Be clear, find suffering, there ain't nothing better. You after you work to get myself together for eternity. My bitch will call be the whole sunshine I eat. And his eternal peace. You call me to love. You call me to peace. I want to be free and I love you. You call me to love. You call me to peace. I want to be free and I love you.
That's my whole life, yeah, I found something better. You want some time back, you found something better, you know what I'm talking about? Alright. Shalom, Shalom. Alright, y'all already know what it is.
TrueLifeBeats.com.
Give some type of life, you got some health and strength. Talk about
I got my strength reasonable. Love can don't come away from me. I should be dead or hard stay out there. I'm waiting for me. This road sometimes seem rough, but it's a beautiful way. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's a beautiful way.
Hallelujah, who will fuck this beautiful way? Kabukaraya, Ukananam, Tabari, enough to say. Even with 1,000 tongues, I still be speechless. So what's up for destruction? My life was until his grievance. Walking this tightrope, get balance the staggering challenges of life. Basic instructions before leaving earth for us to see his plight. So we look to the supply for his delivery. When seeking strength, we look to the amount of Yahusha's scheme. Not many can do this cause they don't see it as we see it. To live by strict instruction rather than the lap of Jesus. Some please this. They were set up just for me. I was too blind to see to how much she I stir Kai and me. The Russia had to flee. I don't always get what I want, but it's his will, not mine. Long as it equate to salvation, I'll be just fine. Created in his image for his purpose, so I'm living lovely. It's tangible with Paris, so I look for what's above me, and I got my strength. These little boat nothing don't come away from me. I should be dead or hardest day I made away from me. This world sometimes seems rough, but it's a beautiful way. It's a beautiful way.
This is a beautiful way. How do you do? Hear me when I say there's none truer. Believe me, I have served the falsehood, but wash away are all good. Pray and ask the Lord for forgiveness, then you all's good. Nah, he said the way of other heathens, Christians, atheists, false religions, and creeds. Only one way, one are done, one wild, one foe. You can none, God's gracious show his patience when he gave me another chance. Instead of death, gave me life. Now I can do my dance, I don't deserve it. That's why every service I'm pressing in, wanna sleep easy when my time comes. Ain't no rest in sin, not living lesser than. I'm an aristocrat, upper high society. The sky's where my limits at. I'm being but not sugarcoating. I want you to figure that I'm on a low level. I'm moving on up, but not to Jefferson.
I got my strength, there's no way nothing don't come away from me. I should be dead or hardest day I made away from me. This world sometimes seems rough, but it's a beautiful way. It's a beautiful way. My life was in the hump and I ain't Joshua. They were blind following philosophy, just like a colossally bad full of this poor. My life was it, dying in the sinking ship off the skate. Had to let it quick, too legit to bar him in the fascia of my being. Fire burn away impurity, so my ruah steady beaming. Our ruah of the watch that to shine, his beauty gleaming like precious jewels, peculiar on in and out of season. Hope the reason he saw me fit was to want me for salvation. Beautiful plan set before me for my ruah libation. So I won't trust for his without obtain Kai and my patience. Obedience will be fulfilled. Yes, that imagination. Y'all is gracious, you're open, non-convicted, but rock his time. You were worthy singers, but my partner was his recall of faithful that made away. Short time, I'm here to stay, but I'm still thankful that he called me to his beautiful way. Yeah, I got my strength, these little boat nothing don't come away from me. I should be dead or hardest day I made away from me. This world sometimes seems rough, but it's a beautiful way. It's a beautiful way.
You wanna pray?
Yeah.
Dream life, dream life.
Log your future out, let's go, it's time to get it, bro. Hey, grab your battle armor, just don't let your feelings show. I do be cool, man, this love is so conditional. He be with you be with him. Hey, yo, I'm with you, bro. Pull off a palm for the day he come and visit, yo. Pass iniquity, these sinners think we kidding, yo. Come on, your hoodie, man, they saying we ain't tough enough. Hey, pass that Nina Ray, that HME out, fucking hey. It's true, your hoodie truly coming through your stereo. I'm walking circumspect, these sinners like a merry-go. Round crowds trying to down you everywhere you go. You push a vision panoramic, talking every yo. And y'all lose it through your push, you got to carry yo. Today you try to play me, see a Mary yo. Man, keep the cash and sing you backwards, puffin' cherry smoke. Man, take the word, play, see me, I got that carry flow. You push your made perfect, gotta big my man's up. Don't let them disrespect that for them, ain't gon' stand up. You see me going in, I'm trying to get these bands up. Pull all your hoochie, yeah, they see me with my hands up. I gotta make it in, but only by his driver ring. To die, your Olive Beth ain't going back to Mizraim. And they go well from Baghdad to Milan. Yeah, watch me praise your who while past the baton. Coward, pull all your hoochie out, let's go, it's time to get it, bro. Hey, grab your battle armor, just don't let your feelings show. I do you cool, man, his love is so conditional. He be with you be with him. Hey, yo, I'm with you, bro. Pull off a con for the day he come and visit, yo. Pass iniquity, these sinners think we kidding, yo. Come on, your hoodie, man, they saying we ain't tough enough. Hey, pass that Nina Ray, that hates him as I toughen up.
It's a prerogative from the one who is the author of the things that I believe. It gave me form like he's a potter. Horns of the olive pointing me, just
where I ought to be. Entering through the dollar, bearing fruit like an olive tree. Though they don't all believe my powers, I will be counted with the remnant remaining. When the harbor brains, death and destruction by the diver in me speaks. Sinking ships in the lake, it's harder than a pot of fish grease. And it stinks, that's my past that I'm speaking of. With Sadiq like filthy rags, it's hard for me to clean up. And yet this piece of dust was taken from a piece of crust, was treated like a diamond in the rough. Who would think enough of me to even want to try to wash it? Break the hoover without a wash it, make it smooth when it was rough. But mayors do, I kept me suffer. Whisper used to make me tougher. See what 26 and Tyler Haynes wanna be like in the dream. Log your crucial up, let's go, it's time to get it, bro. Hey, grab your battle armor, just don't let your feelings show. How do you cool, man, this love is so conditional. He be with you, you be with him. Hey, yo, I'm with you, bro. Pull off a con for the day he come and visit, so past iniquity, these sinners think we kidding, yo. Am I your hoodie, man, they saying we ain't tough enough. Hey, passing in the way that hate you made me toughen up. Yeah, you make me toughen up. Make me toughen up. Hey, make me toughen up. Hey, tree hood. Yeah, know I'm talking about. Ray John. Look, they make me toughen up. They make me toughen up. They make me toughen up. Tree hood. Yeah.
Every day I gotta stand, even when some things go my way. If I'm a baby, gotta still obey. Every day I gotta stand, even if I gotta cry sometimes. If I'm with you, then I will be alright. Every day I gotta stand, even when some things go my way. If I'm a baby, gotta still obey. Every day I gotta stand, even if I gotta cry sometimes. If I'm with you, then I will be alright. Every day I gotta stand, every day I gotta the problems out of the problem myself without thinking the cooler I'm in gotta the water boy that I've been seeking nutrition from the morning to shine my demons to the ruler of nations invitations of what your plan when it says no hope television or blood is lurking there's a knock at your door standing before you with your feet and over carry you out one more passing by your transgressions ain't no blood on your house you blood in and blood out just like you being reborn I'm just here to bear witness so you know you've been warned before that you come to break this spell but to make them touch your enjoy that sin for a season, no obey you. Every day I gotta stand, even when some things go my way. If I'm away, gotta still obey. Every day I gotta stand, even if I gotta cry sometimes. If I'm with you, then I will be alright. Every day I gotta stand, even when some things go my way. If I'm away, gotta still obey. Every day I gotta stand, even if I gotta cry sometimes. If I'm with you, then I will be alright. Every day I gotta stand, nevertheless I'm a real, that's why I chose you. I'm not a wrong and did I can say that I'm made without you. But without you, I know my faith and it's sealed. I know confession don't impress you, gotta change for real. Like your release, I gotta keep you always up until the time to perform what the vocation you call me. And know if it was such a long that you would Yahweh. And if you know what your hope that you be so dishonest. Can't make a life that he ain't taking no hypocrite. Everything you who has got is a package, it come with benefits. You want a Malcolm in the be in his land. What the song saying every day I gotta stand. Even when some things go my way, gotta still obey. Every day I gotta stand. Even if I gotta cry sometimes, if I'm with you, then I will be alright. Every day I gotta stand. Even when some things go my way, if I'm with you, gotta still obey. Every day I gotta stand. Even if I gotta cry sometimes, if I'm with you, then I will be alright. Every day I gotta stand. Every day I gotta say it. Every day you gotta. Every day we gotta, every day I gotta stand, every day I gotta, say it every day you gotta, every day we gotta, every day I gotta stand, even if I gotta cry sometimes, if I'm with you, then I'll be alright, every day I gotta stand, even when some people go my way, if I'm with you, gotta still obey, and I'm about to take her.
Generation on the cave, who did Tell me who did wrong, generation of the gosh. Who did wrong? Tell me who did wrong, tell me.
Tell me what you think about it. Took a long time, but I finally got that snake
think about. Now my fragrance is a sweet smelling savor. Boy, I'm happy I'm elated, bro, cause I got me a savior. Look, ransom already paid, all my treasure laid up, and shine my name on my face. Look, with my hands up, I know I'm always being glanced on. I made plans on, nothing to get my chance gone. I took the cup, I drank from it, usual. That's the shot he gave to a stiff nation to loosen up. If you don't get it, don't give up, brother, use a dog. I tell you what, I can't get the truth enough. I say look, I went from beasting with the goals to feasting with the chosen of you who want it, shop a tune. Strong meat, not milk, that mean you got the chew. We make a tree bear good fruit, this I can prove. See, these stories still don't get played like some type of fool. The elders and the children understand it like Dr. Seuss. I know I'm a no for this opportunity. I know you're coming back for y'all things and not the generation of the gosh. Who did want you to flee from the rap and destroy the come? Christianity is adjective, yeah, you would do. You who's your cut down the tree and don't bring for fruit. Generation of the gosh. Who did want you to flee from the rap and destroy the come? Christianity is adjective, yeah, you would do. You who's your cut down the tree and don't bring for fruit. I used to wonder why I was born by my mama middle child, but somehow different how. And yo, I get it, nonsense ain't out here living foul. And though I put it down, I know it's supposed to be trials. That's why I meditate so deep, it's like I'm paralyzed. On them lessons my leaders teach, I know they certified. This devil classified, the chief leaders gon' verify. Oh, you don't know about y'all, he won't be no desire. I do your hoop shot, you proved us, it's clarified. I do again to your brother, spare my shot. See now she almost lost a light and heard into my life. You see me holding straight through all the tears, find that furnace of affliction high. Well, I'ma not get dry, but a little strength and power, that's what I get from God. Look here, I have your wish because we just here for a while. But make sure that you're wise, cause so is the God. Generation of the gosh, who did want you to flee from the rap and destroy the come? Christianity is adjective, yeah, you would do. You who's your cut it down the tree and don't bring for fruit. Generation of the gosh, who did want you to flee from the rap and destroy the come? Christianity is adjective, yeah, you would do. You who's your cut it down the tree and don't bring for fruit.
Generation of the gosh, who did want? Tell me who did want? Generation of the gosh, who did want? So tell me who did want? So tell me who did want? Tell me.
Philly's Marshall Lee. Yo, who I have mercy on me. You keep your hands on me. Look, mine was in the gutter, hid in the clouds, couldn't pull myself down. Off cloud 9. Excuse me off the lane planet, no more taking for granted the young that you made me. Please, y'all save me, my adversaries wanna see me dead. But better say it, it's me who wanna see me dead. To the mind to be led, bottom leave thoughts. I thought I wouldn't speak about them notes, cause people talk this felt like I was on the way to the grave. Red heart, plagued with unmerciful hatred. I'm afraid it would've led me straight through the gates of hell. A place where it's never a chance of escaping now. This country, and other countries as well. Same song everywhere, killers, lockers in jail. Send a nigga to the penitentiary with an L. My Donnie save me from that. Don't let me go back and know you who will let me speak and ask that every true Yahoo this gotta seek to please you and that. And keep it real to the point and the fact that this vibe is all way too strong for the center of the vibe on. Who they always got their eyes on? Trying to figure out how this guy wrong. See, I'm thrown so far off my rocker. Hard for these dogs are way too hard for their dollars to raise. Too hard to even pause or to stop on the beat, but not too hard for one of your lawyer right out of feed. Now that's a line in the D. In the shower at that lead. See, my mind was in the gutter, hid in the clouds, couldn't pull myself down. Off cloud 9. Excuse me off the name planet, no more taking for granted the young that you made me. I know you couldn't slave me, but instead you bathed me in my ink. I'm clean from my sins, I got remission, repented for wickedness and forgiven for my iniquity. The pure Gallery was a light I needed to get me lit. I enter this, swoop in the competition, hoping the competition is more than what I did instead. Not in singing or rapping a new position, but just staying focused and sure about how I'm living. I'm walking up this rocky mountain, I got to pick my feet up high. I'm digging to get a good grip so I don't slide. Forward stride, ain't gon' lay down and die, no. Negative, as I remember the ways in which I strayed. Completed the 8, then I dropped out in the main grade. The crimes committed and parts that I played. It wasn't ready for life can't fly for the other state. Didn't think to pull out with just a friend. If I did, you couldn't hit me. I was out of the way, so I wanna say how do to you today. What else am I nothing, cause I know that my mind was in a gutter. Head in the clouds, couldn't pull myself down. On cloud nine. Excuse me off that name plane, ain't no more taking for granted that you let you made me. Y'all save
I just wanna make my father proud. Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud. Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud. Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud. I know I changed cause I don't do the things I used to. I used to be a cinnamon, but now I'm searching who. I was the type that love slipping for all reputation. But all I eat was not that's the way that's escaping. All I had to do was stop and shift my focus. Nico was written the score time, cause that's where my hope is. And this an anchor to the soul. I'm never hopeless. To the barbers, to the remote. Yeah, who should control this? Each do the word that the Raha preach and make it plain to understand y'all this man is. To the bar, you touch it with a hand can reach and your neck get in his sight. So make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud. Make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud.
In Tahoe, and in Kai, I had the same goal. Please my Abba, give them honor, repeat the same goal. Free from Russia, Cubans, all like John and Jane Doe. Clean my garments, they were filthy, had to change clothes. Man, I won't sell my soul to quit, but I will sell my soul to get eternal life. He paid the price, Yahuwah bankroll instead. Watch not fall with gold with the dome of his son, he shouldered it. Investing in Yeshua, the bomb made clear Yahuwah broken it now. The times are crucial, I'm looking to Yahushua to deliver me from Qatar to his Nakuba place. I know this it. No Shamash, no Yari, Allahim, my own surrounding me. I keep it clean and listen, I just want him to be proud of me.
I just wanna make my father, make my father, make my father proud. I just wanna make my father, yeah, he wants to love me, make my father proud. I wanna make my father proud, make my father proud. I just wanna make my father proud of me.
Hey, make my father proud. Yeah, it made my father proud.
All my ladies in the place and they ain't rap strong. Go ahead and sing this song. To all my fellas in the place, no clean cut face. Go ahead and sing this song. To all my ladies that are dressed and they ride us to dress. Go ahead and sing this song. To all my fellas who ain't stressing, they push past the flesh. Go ahead and sing this song. My crew, they know horse for show, but tis the season. They got teams and they clean for a reason. Who should coming back to the bench, those that freedom. They got from the truth and left them bleeding. We were sent to give back to the blind. So when you see it, the scripture to the lens on my eyes for the eating. I'm making reservation to join them when I'm leaving. That's why I'm rocking that they call every single weekend. When you call me, they good, and you be love. But I intend to get a rule from the one above. Put on your with my addiction stronger than the drug. They think that I should clean, but it's time to hit the club. It ain't enough to hit the truck, you better jump in. People hear us coming, the windows and rubber bumping. Take the devil off of my back, it's like I'm talking about the plastic back. DJ Rich, yo, tell them something. To all my ladies in the place, and they ain't rap straight. Go ahead and sing this song. To all my fellas in the place, no clean up face. Go ahead and sing this song. To all my ladies that are dressed and they modestly dress. Go ahead and sing this song. To all my fellas who ain't stressing, they push past the flesh. Go ahead and sing this song. Ladies, it's the babies. eyes will kiss and tell. And ain't no fish for sound unless he taking a baby breeze. Baby girl, your body ain't for other guys. It was made to be seen by your husband eyes. Phone search on the roads and color thighs. Don't make them go and add to that shade color fries. And to my brother, don't compromise. I know you want to spread your wings and you gotta fly. Just know that if you're living that you gotta die. And one day, dead body man, it gotta rise. Bottom line is quit playing, the scripture ain't outdated. You got the choice, you can tell wasted, outdated. You holding out to the world is outrageous. But Mr. Yahuwah counted as salvation. My ladies in the place in the air, rap strong. Go ahead and sing this song. To all my brothers in the place, don't clean cut face. Go ahead and sing this song. To all my ladies that are pressed and they modestly dress. Go ahead and sing this song. To all my brothers who ain't stressing, they push past the flesh. Go ahead and sing this song. All my ladies in the place, give me love and strength. Go ahead and sing this song. All my brothers in the place, don't clean cut face. Go ahead and sing this song. All my ladies that are pressed and they modestly dress. Go ahead and sing this song. All my brothers who ain't stressing, they push past the flesh, huh? Go ahead and sing this song. My own ain't no ho for sure. But it's the season. The Yahweh deemed it be clean for a reason. We should come on back to within those that grieve them. Gotta put them up to the let them breathe. Impacted the blind. So what you see is you want to the land for my word in here. Make sure to make it the door. When I'm leaving, I'm about to know my God. When they call me, you leave me love. But I ain't gonna get my food from the one above. You get the doctor clean where you're trying to hit the road. You get the doctor clean where you're trying to hit the toe. Instead of trying to hit the ducky birds jumping. You were coming your way as a ball popping. The devil up in my back, look like I'm copping. The back is back, TJ Rich, guess what? So all my ladies in the place that they hold that straight. Better sing this song. So all my brothers in the place, no clean cut face. So better sing this song. All my ladies in the press and they modestly dress, huh? Better sing this song. So all my brothers in the dress and they push past the flesh. Better sing this song, ladies, yeah, ain't no babies. Yeah, marry so close your legs, please. Cause you guys will kiss and tell. It ain't no fish for sale. Let me take you to baby. Baby dead, your body ain't for other guys. It was made to be seen by your husband eyes. Lost first on them legs, ain't coming fast. Don't make them go and add to that shit, go and ride. Look at my feelings, don't compromise. I know you want to spread your wings and you gotta fly. Just know that if you're living that you gotta die. And one day that damn body man ain't gotta rise. Bottom line, quit playing, the scripture ain't outdated. You got the choice to tell wasted, outdated. You walking out to the world is outrageous. But Mr. Yahuwah counted as salvation. All my ladies in the place, let me hear burn straight. Let us sing this song. All my brothers in the place, no clean cut face, huh? Let us sing this song. All my ladies that are pressed, they modestly dressed, yeah. Let us sing this song. All my brothers that ain't dressed and they push past the flesh. Let us sing this song. One more time, all my ladies in the place, let they head down straight. Let us sing this song. All my brothers in the place, no clean cut face. Let us sing this song. All my ladies that are pressed and they modestly dressed, huh? Let us sing this song. All my brothers that ain't dressed and they push past the flesh. Let us sing this song.
Sound of Kato Saran. Appreciate all those on YouTube. I haven't tried to drop, thought it'd drop down early. Appreciate them. Let them go ahead and put their request in too. They might be at home. They say they want to get their jam in too. Isn't that right? They say everybody's gonna be. I'm gonna hit the. They say they're gonna go ahead and log in early and be ready to go ahead and get their jam on. Isn't that right? It's all for Mr. Yahuwah. Isn't that right? It ain't for us, for Mr. Yahuwah. He deserves all the tahalim. Isn't that right? All right, we'll get ready to let them sound the Kato Saran. Although that David will stand. Appreciate Mr. Yahuwah for all he has done. Allowed us to come together one more again. Come in and make sure we got this thing right. My Palau live, we always considering. Isn't that right? We need to consider our ladder in, everybody. He ain't just not just gonna keep waking us up for nothing. Isn't that right? We wanna make sure we got a lifestyle. Isn't that right? We'll make sure we got a lifestyle. We ain't got nothing but a little while. So we gotta get this thing right. Consider. Did y'all learn anything, Layla? That's two. That's our aim. With everything going on in the world, I know it's definitely confusing. It's definitely, heartbreaking from time to time. Everything you see what's going on, destruction. Thinking, what was it? I think Argentina, they had a 6.7 earthquake this morning. I mean, it's so much going on, from mudslides to, it ain't just here, it's global. I just don't see what it take. I mean, when I say, I just don't know what it's gonna take for people to consider. I mean, the more I see the destruction, it's nowhere safe. Years ago, it'd be places you said, that's why I don't live there. Like them South America, when they got hit, you said, that's why I don't live over there. And people kind of framed us to believe that America was God's country, so that's why. Whenever you watch the disasters and earthquakes, California would have some, but never like, we never got the destruction. Even with Florida, with the hurricane, years ago, we had Hugo, Andrew, I think there was two our top that kind of hit through. Uncle Ted older than me, you remember anything harder than those two? Those about the two hardest I think we had. You remember? Dora, she was pretty bad. Yeah, and see, usually, but after them, they usually kind of learn how to build a little better. They learn, don't build high in Florida. You don't build high. You want to stay kind of low. Kind of watch where you put different things and how you're doing. So, man, technology got a little better on his building, too. After the destroy, he realized I need to build more stable here. I need to look at what I put here, watch certain regions and different things we do. But with all that said, Mr. Yahuwah is punishing the whole of rocks. Whole of rocks being punished. I don't think, I know, ain't nowhere safe. Ain't no place. Just like he told him, all table full of vomit, ain't no place clean. When you look at America, ain't no place clean. And you look at the war in Ukraine getting no better. They both sides lying. Russia taking over. The U.S. general just told me today, he said it'd be impossible to get Russia out of all the places they're in right now in the year. He said it'd be impossible to get them out. He said every Russian soldier out of here in the year, he said it'd be impossible. I mean, but this is some of the stuff they've done. Then these are the same people that's destroying and killing each other, and they're affecting the whole world. It ain't like it's just you. You're affecting the whole world. I still just can't get on how stupid somebody would be. Why would you let one country be in control of the majority of the wheat for the world? So anything happen to you, the whole world got to suffer? That's about the dumbest decision I've seen in my life. It's like, how did y'all come up with it? I can see trading me, okay, I'll get something from you, something from you. So if you flake out, I still get supply. These dumb, this is how dumb there's not one world leader with a brain in their head. All of them are stupid. White, black, I'm from Africa, every one of them just downright stupid. Because the people are the folk that's affected. People, 20-some million people are set for starvation in Africa, 28 million. Do you understand how many people they are? China they have 80% of the people in China are infected with COVID. Can you imagine 80% of a country that has 1.7 billion people? They have 80% of the citizens that have COVID. We're done. We're done. I don't know what y'all think. We're done. There's more Chinese people than anybody else on the planet. Now they complain they not having enough kids. Am I mad? Listen, I would have been brought y'all some rubbers. Isn't that right? Listen, I would have brought them jokers some rubber way, but listen, when it got more than 10 Bruce Lee, y'all need to start using coming. Isn't that right? Birth control. I had all kind of time too. You just decided, are you serious? Then they say India is to surpass them. In the next 10 years, they're going to be more Indian than anybody. I don't need to smell them people. I ain't going to lie to you. Listen, I'm not racist. Y'all stink. Them some stinking jokers. They know they stink. They got to know they stink. That's why they talk. They don't want to smell this. Hey, man, they help you? It is. Got to be. It's too many for somebody not told over. Man, we stink. I'm saying, come on, we don't be saying, man, we tore up, we drunk. How ain't nobody told them they stink? See, this is when you're not good friend with folks. This is when you're not good friend. Also, I want to teach y'all something. I don't know what happened. I was talking to Lena last night. I think Justin fell asleep. And I was trying to explain to them about some things that happened, and I was trying to explain to them over the course of time in life, how you learn things and you have to adapt to things and understand the boundary. There are boundaries, just like when Yahuwah with us. There are boundaries. We have common, similar characteristics and things that we do. Then there are things that come in and let us know, this is your place, this is my place. And I was trying to explain them because I saw some things that happened. I've been watching it for a while, but I wasn't really sure, when the right time to address it. I was talking to him last night. Boundaries are important when you're doing things. And what happened, I was trying to explain them. I used a scenario where if you were like, I don't know, has anybody ever been out like in the woods or maybe, I don't know, might have been in the forest somewhere. I'm talking about like overseas anywhere. Have you ever encountered an animal, a wild animal interview? Okay, I have, unfortunately. What happened? No, and I was explaining what you have to do. You have to distinguish man from animal. So certain techniques you use for different animals. Dogs, you might say, come here, different things, go back, get. When you're dealing with the chimp, because it is, if you look, a chimp has 5 fingers. A chimp has 2 legs. So the chimp will easily confuse himself with you. So what you have to do, and I was explaining to Leon what you had to do last night, what you're doing, I've learned what worked. You have to bite your lip to blood on skeet, and you tell, get down, chimp! You gotta command the chimp, because the chimp is not an animal that just, you guys say, go on, chimp. That chimp will run up and grab you and hurt you. That's how Michael Jackson, you have, so any of y'all, if you ever encounter a chimp, watch your lip. Get down, chimp! And the chimp knows then, okay, ain't one of y'all. Now, if you let that chimp do anything out here, then I know you ain't. Can y'all know, let me see. In a murder scene, you got to bite till a little blood skeet. Then the chimp know you a kill. I'm telling you, that's how you get another animal. If an animal don't know you a kill, the animal know. If it get bad, bite till a little blood skeet like that, and the chimp will know it's serious. So if y'all ever run into a wild chimp, just remember that. Y'all ever seen any wild chimp? Any of y'all seen a chimp? Anybody ran into anybody seen a chimp? I'm talking about locally. You ain't got to without out in the jungle, without going to the zoo. So just be ready. Because at any time now, that chimp, you'll be talking like, because you'll be playing with the chimp and you'll be thinking that chimp lose the boundaries. So you got to be ready to put the chimp back in their place. All right? Zahid. They get serious, you draw your arm back like that. Then the chimp know you got a weapon, you'll hurt him. But besides all that, we got to get this thing right. I appreciate Mr. Yahuwah for not cutting us off. And I was thinking about those 80% of the people in China. I mean, China had one of the second largest economy in the world. One reason, I mean, if you look at it, we on the brink of disaster. It's worse than what people know. I mean, China could supply all the cheap junk in the world you get. You got to do business with China. It's other countries all come in and say, listen, even the Saudis came in and said, listen, China and America got to start doing business again. We affect everybody. You got the grain being messed up, America. If y'all look in Spain, y'all looking at these other countries, how these people on the street, they burning buildings. These people, listen, they ain't just no France, Spain too. These people are crunk. Listen, they have protests everywhere. Peru, listen, they want world leaders out. They tell these folks, you coming out. I'm talking about they torture the places. They burn. You see in America, I saw in Atlanta, I guess they, now Atlanta, them trying to respond to care. I guess, is it a threat about burning the Atlanta facility? I saw something I was reading that somebody said it was saying that I guess where they practice at, they want to burn the facility. They're saying, what are they saying? It's the camp where they train at. What's odd about this whole thing? I saw some comment people had about it was saying how dumb these people are to come down here and burn this training center. I mean, I'm not a proponent of it, but at the same time, you better ask yourself, what made them pick that location? Right. See, a lot of times it's stuff we don't know that you think we might, you'll just get pieces of things. Like when the guy went to the pizza place in Washington, D.C., and he looked like a fool. He ran in with a gun, hollering where they was. When they showed the news, they made it seem like he was some lunatic who ran in the pizza place with a gun. Then later, they kept it on the brush that they were having sex with kids in that pizza place in the basement. And he found out about it. Now, this is just really odd that these people are coming down here to the Atlanta police training facility, and these folks talking about attacking this place. And what do they know? I'm just curious, like, what did you hear that made you come down here? What were you told was going on at the Atlanta police training facility The reason, y'all don't think about stuff like that? Because people ain't just picking places out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You got other, why you ain't saying every police training center? Why did you pick Atlanta? I'm just curious. Certain things, I mean, why you picked Atlanta? What did you hear? What were you told? What information do you have? Okay, this is stuff y'all don't think about. Because a lot of times they make people like they crazy. And people are crazy. But it's stuff that get out. There's a lot of stuff we don't know behind the scenes with a lot of places. There's a lot we don't know. We just assume. Think about it. The average person just assume that the average person is good. The average person is rotten. It used to be like what they said. The average person, can we really say that now? No. You remember you to say stuff, the average person is a good, but the average person, you can't say that anymore. You know you be telling a lie. The average person is rotten. Yep. Isn't that right? Simply because we use morals and using human morals. Human in themselves. Think about this. Human morals. Who are the people that's dismoral? Exactly. Is it the animals? Right. Is it the crickets? It's humans, because those are human morals. If I believe in sleeping with kids, you call it immoral. I'm saying it's moral. That's why I'm doing it. Those are my morals. Right. So we've left these things in the hands of people to decide. We got homosexuals everywhere. We got them going in here inside of restaurants, raping women. We got all, you can't question them. Why I can't question a man with a pickle and this man walking here with a bulge in front of his pants, walking in this women's bathroom? Why I can't stop him? Right. Make them a gay bathroom where they can go in the gay bathroom and don't clean it. Right. I wouldn't clean it. I'll put mess all on the toilet. I said, it shouldn't bother you. I have mess, I mean, I have it submerged in all the toilet. I have logs of turd. What you gonna say? This nasty? Say, you know what, I was waiting on one of y'all to say that. Because I'm thinking the same thing about what y'all, it makes no sense that we in a society today where we even have a discussion on what would be in my mind that a homosexual man comes into school today with a miniskirt on and no drawers and he wanna read the kids. What's wrong with our administrators? Why nobody don't have a mindset, listen, if this is where we going, y'all can have this job. Yep. I mean, I can't be a part, I got kids. This is what's dangerous. You have kids. You think this okay? You think this safe? No. As a teacher, you look at behavior. You look at certain things. You correct the little boys touching little girls. I mean, we had mirrors on our feet. You can't do it, take it to the op. You can't. Well, my friend, they put in the side. He ain't buy me no mirror. I probably would have had one. Y'all remember when they did put it? They put in the shoe turn. They ain't see nothing. They standing with the sock like that. Ah! He looked up with a mirror. It was just silly kid stuff. You couldn't have said they weren't standing that long. It was just kids doing stuff. You got a pop, you with the whipping. You got all that. So now you unleashing all this homosexuality stuff. What's gonna be wrong there in school? What do you call it inappropriate? Because you pull me to the office and say, well, what about this homosexual? Who keeps trying to date other guys? Well, we can't say nothing about that. That's his sexual preference. This is where we at. And it's sad. Black, white, Chinese, whatever the nationality is. There are enough of us ain't came together. Enough is enough of that foolishness. We're done with it. If that's something you want to do that in your home. Shut your mouth. Close your windows. Seal off all the vents. That's right. I'm saying, we don't want that doo-doo nowhere in the air. That's your business. That is your business there. We don't want to see it. I don't want to hear the discussion of it. Oh, that's not your right. I don't want to hear it. That's not your right. It's not your right to come into the school system and teach kids about homosexuality. It's just not your right. But this how sad we are that we even have it. These kids, I'm sorry, y'all, the parents, we won't stand up, we won't do nothing for y'all. I mean, that's got to be horrifying. If you say something, hey, say, listen, man, they ain't gay, that might wind up in your suspension. So what you saying wrong with gay? I said, at this point you got to go, you offended a whole race. That's not a race, that's a sickness. That's right. True. Don't put that on no nationality. How is homosexuality a race? Under what race do you fall under? That's retarded. Nobody can say nothing to them, but everybody can disrespect. I can disrespect white people. White people can disrespect me. I can disrespect Hispanic people. They can disrespect me. I can disrespect any other race. They can disrespect me. If I say something about Jewish and homosexuality, oh God, now it's time to shut them down. We got to stop it. There's a march and a protest. Why you can insult other people? Make it the same for everybody. Right. That's right. We have to take the power away. I'm telling you what I'm an advocate proponent for. Everybody might say it different. I think everybody ought to take them flags and put them all over their cars and stuff, shut them down. See, they want something identified as shut them down. You gay? No, why would I be gay? That's sick. Why you got that now? Because it don't belong to you. It don't belong. Shut them down. Now, see, they trying to use something to identify people. Shut them down. Go to their gay parade, all heterosexuals show up. You support gay. Now I think it's sick. Why are you him? Because I got a right to be him. That's right. All men and women just standing together. Watch how mad, how aggravated they get. Why y'all here? Because we on the street too. You ain't got to shut them down. Let them say, just want to say how sick y'all are. We want to. I know this. Then turn around and kiss each other. Turn the man and woman now, not the. You do that, we're gonna kick you right in that parade. And you hit the ground. Jahid, what the rule? They hit the ground. Everybody got to stomp them out. We stomp you out. But I'm just, you know what? You shut them down. Take the power away from them. How we let them people take some colors? You don't own no color. We don't let Serrano take color, Crips and Blood. What these people? How you own a color? Right. Unless you created it. Right. How do we do this? We live in a sad world. We live in a sad world. We don't give these people too much power. None of these people live. I'm being honest with you. They're not a homosexual with the mental capacity to be in a leadership position. They can say what they want to say. You don't have the capacity. I don't care how well you work in it. You're dysfunctional. You have a logic problem. I don't care what computer algorithm you put out. I don't care what education you can put out. Whatever you can perform. You have a dysfunction going on in your mind. You are wrestling with what's nature. I'm looking down a penis saying this is supposed to be a vagina, and I'm making a decision in a courtroom on what's right and wrong. What parent should get the child? What's to say the child? And I have a penis, and I'm saying it's supposed to be a vagina. Someone has a vagina, she's saying this is supposed to be a penis. And you're making decisions involving people's lives. This is scary. And for anybody who think that that's okay, you sick. Yeah. There's no way a person, how you look at yourself and you say you're supposed to be something else? That's retarded. You what you are. You were born, so the rest of us sick too? So everybody who operating with what they got, so they definitely can't think that you're normal. Right. See, they so stupid, they don't even, so what do you think? If I'm a man with a pickle, and it's wrong, I put a have a vagina, and you're a man with a pickle, you say, so I say, you right, you got common sense. You normal. So what am I thinking about you? A woman with a man, what am I thinking about her? Well, that's the right thing for them. I'm saying she's sick, she need to be with another woman. See, they don't know. Ask a homosexual what their opinion is of you. Yeah. I know they don't like it. Ask them what their opinion, because it's all these folk here. Oh, you just gotta love them. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you trying to do this now. I think this here, live and let live to a degree. Anybody. I don't think heterosexual they call should be out here having sex seat on the street. I don't think they'll be in the park doing it either. That's in the private that they call parked over somewhere. Because I ain't got nothing to do with their car. But he almost said that. I'm just saying. I got to watch how far I go on the wind. I might slip and mess up. That's how I leave me some room. You know what I'm saying? Just leave some room. You don't be too perfect. But at the end of the day, I don't think it should be. Well, I know it shouldn't be done. I know it shouldn't be a situation now. Even these churches that gave in to them. Even more. I'm saying that. They gave in even more. These preachers can't even say nothing about them. Yeah, but they remember gay. They can't say that about these folks. These people coming in trying to get spiritual. How you gonna get spiritual? You got homosexuality flaming through the whole place. Well, listen, the average of these pastors are homosexual. You're going to ask your pastor to pray for you, and he blowing man penis in your face. Father, in the name of Jesus. And he Jesus, touch his heart. Move, Lord. You say that's right, you like, is that dingle? They ain't gonna try to put a mint on top of penis. Ain't gonna make. See, they don't want to talk about that. That's crazy. We sick. The world's sick. Yeah, that's where we at. But I'm gonna tell you something. You have to take a stand. You have to take a stance against it. That you don't agree with it. It don't mean you hate the person. Unless the person that did something that really violated you. But other than that, it's the fact of the act. And I just think it's unfair that we got our kids having to try to stand up and try to defend. They can't. They don't have no power. The parents don't have power. You want to get help. I try to talk about someone there was somewhere I mentioned. Man, wasn't none of them saying that. I said, how we get him a homosexual? Listen, nobody said that. One of them, they ain't saying that. They ain't say, they was scared. They was all scared. Man, that sissy stuff don't move. That sissy margin don't move me. Go park it. Go come in front of my house. Why when I pull out that driveway? Be standing right there. That's your life on the line. Listen, I'm in fear for my life. Please park and come march in front of my house, stand in my driveway, and see if I stop. I'm in fear of my life. Y'all hear me? I know you sick. All that drag queen stuff on, I gotta run you over and get this safety. That bottom line, I ain't gonna play this fools with these people. It's crazy. How you come and march and punk somebody out? Right. You the punk. Trying to punk somebody to take what you want. Can we go march and protest somebody else because they don't agree with us being black and go block their driveway? How these folks get to do this stuff? We can't go to no school, so they're gonna tell you can't even come in the school building. That's right. Homosexuals come in here and teach them. Nobody gonna search them, nobody gonna touch them. They get to walk in bathroom. You just gave men who can use under the cover homosexual and go in these bathrooms and look at these women and rape them. Police stand right there and look at them going and say, well, I can't say I can't judge. What did you just do? You just unleashed a bunch of monsters on us. And it's our fault. I don't even blame them. I blame us. I blame everybody claiming they're straight. I got a problem with straight people, they're not homosexual. You doing what you're supposed to do, you nasty. It's the straight people that sit here and leave our kids to be victims of these people. It's our fault. It's our fault. Nobody, psychologists can't say nothing to them, therapists can't say nothing to them, police can't say nothing to them, you can't say nothing. You got a gay kid, you got to embrace them. I'm not going to embrace them, I'm going to get them and say, you got to go. You got to go. I'm going to take it to the store, I'm going to steal something, I'm going to put in your bag. Hey, my gay kid stole something. I'm just an honest American. I said, I get you out of here. And I get too much thieving as a man, isn't that right? I said, stick some lipstick in your pocketbook or something. Isn't that right? Oh, they don't like that, do it? And then we got to stop. We tell them no. And a parent got a right to tell their kid, this is our home. This is how our home is going to be real. You can't grow up in here like that. How you going to tell me when they grow up my so I can let them smoke dope too? Oh, that's illegal. I'm saying it's illegal. All this stuff I can't let them do. I can let them grow up my house. Go get an operator. You leave home. Your son leave home in the morning. You say, all right, son, take it. He come out in the afternoon. He in the hospital. He recovering. He done got him a Bojana put in. You left my house this morning, man. Then you done got a Bojana put in. You done. Tell y'all pay that bill. They gonna send me the bill for a Bojana. I said, listen. One time I paid $5 to hold a lady tip. I'm not paying with that Bojana. I tell you that now. I tell them I can't pay with that Bojana. That's way too much. Man, you get a bill, man, you owe like $75,000 for a Bojana? No. I said, y'all gonna put that pickle back on. Matter of fact, just put it in the cup. Man, I ain't gonna pay y'all for this. Man, all right, man, put that thing in the cup. We gotta go. I'm not paying for this. Can you imagine, man, them folks finna foreclose on your house for a Bojana? All right, I'm trying to help y'all out now. Y'all better check them kids before they leave. Really, we're gonna, Yahuwah willing, hopefully we're gonna be able to pull our kids back out and we can homeschool. Yahuwah willing, we working on. Don't start now. Don't call nobody Monday morning. Now give me time. You heard preaching by faith. I never said that. Now if Faith says she want to get into it, now you take them by faith now. Don't bring them by him. Y'all got that? Ain't that right? I pulled them out by faith. You and Faith educate them there. Don't you do that. Wait, just hold on. But we're going to have to pull them out. How many of y'all kids, in all honesty, how many of y'all see like homosexuality in the school? Do y'all see it? I mean, not one or two. Do y'all see like, is it like favoritism toward them? They're like untouchables? You can't say nothing to them? They get their own table and all that too? You said, no, they don't. Not at your school, they don't do it. It's not favorite. What you say? Yeah. No, what? They don't get their own table. You see favoritism toward them? Protection, you can't say nothing to them? None of that. No. See, I don't have it over here. Y'all better come to school over here. So y'all do see them in there? Do they educate y'all about homosexuality? They don't teach y'all about it? Y'all take help? They don't tell y'all that's a normal reaction, two guys? Y'all don't see the book with the two penises and stuff? I seen on New they had the two penis little kid. You know that show? I seen one that show must be in California. They'll start out. I don't know why they think they so straight up there. I know they started the little pickle, had two little pickle little boys. If you had this happen, this is normal. Two pickles. No, it ain't two pickles. Them pickles stay in the jar and all of them pointed down. Yeah. Point your pickle down. No, seeing no jar, no two pickles like that here just floating. Yeah. Don't do no fooling like that. Any folk know they put them pickles down inside that jar. All them pickles just aimed up at each other. Isn't that right? So I'm gonna get y'all a picture. Just say, listen, man, Punch your pickle down, man. Don't punch your pickle at me. All right? Maybe get them some shirt called Punch Your Pickle Down. How many of y'all kids would like them shirts? How many of y'all kids want to be saved? I knew y'all kids would like, I was thinking about that. I said, yeah, these kids want to be saved. But now we don't teach y'all to mess with them because they won't do that. These folks, they look to jail you now for saying something to these kids. But you got your rights, though. You let people know you don't come approach. I mean, you approaching another kid on this matter? If you gay, go sit in a little gay spot and let somebody come to you. That's the insulting part. If you're not gay, somebody come to you with that. Already, I remember you had to pick a girl out, one, see if I approach her, see if it's an interest. Now, for those y'all that did it, 2, 3 y'all did that date, what y'all did, just went to any one of them? Typically, you look to see if there was a mutual interest, where you noticed, to see whether they engage, because you didn't want to go to see somebody laughing. Before you just engage, you just run, hey, woman, you didn't do, you know what I'm saying? But grab the wrong thing. So you kind of look. How many of y'all guys agree with this? You kind of look and you kind of, some of they said, I don't remember how I did it. Someone said they went up like, For those that didn't go to the woman like this, I ain't say nothing. I used to just get them. You're like, how you do that? No, I'm talking about the other one. So typically, what we would do, we would look and, for me, let me say for me now, I look to see, first of all, I looked at it like this. Choose a lover, gonna choose you. So if I look, I'm looking to strike. Y'all right? That's how it was. I'm looking to strike. When I move, I'm looking to strike, engage. So I'll come in, I'm engaging. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna go 1, 2. Are you gonna go with me? I'm gonna let them know, listen, I didn't know you were gay. And I say it loud enough that everybody else gonna know it too. If you had a boyfriend, tell you, your boyfriend gay. So so now, don't try it now if you don't know what you're saying. You gotta look, you gotta be convincing. You can't walk, that's it, that's how you gotta approach, right? So it's like you had to look and see, should I approach? Okay, I'm gonna strike, I caught the eye, I'm going. So what make a sister just run up to you and know you ain't gay? So you're like, so what you were doing, what you were thinking? You saw gay on my shirt. It's just the fact that these women and these guys, these kids are being attacked by these people, and it's offensive. It's offensive if you don't go that way. Right. And the fact they trying to say, well, that's their right. You ain't got no right to come to me and ask me I'm homosexual. That's right. That's your lifestyle. Go somewhere. All y'all wear a certain clothes. Y'all got a twist in it. Go somewhere. All y'all go somewhere. Really, if it's up to me, I get them their own gay steak. I wouldn't give them nothing but sour fruit. That's all I get. Everything's sour. Trying to get that sugar out of them. That's all you get, rotten meat, because it's just rotten behavior. When they start eating, be like, they say you are what you eat, don't it? I'm gonna give you what you eat. Your stuff's sour and it's rotten. That's what you need to eat till you realize. See, I remember they eating straight people food and they thinking they're okay. It's not a healthy gay either. That's the truth. Y'all gotta let them know that. They're not healthy. They can go to the gym they want to. Man, look here, man. When your butt hold this big around, you can't hold nothing down for so long. I'm saying, man, you ain't got, all right, do this. Y'all do this, just go home, just try that later on. Don't do this, I ain't gonna ask you to do nothing gay, no. Go home and put on some weird big old draw. Put them on right here and let them go and see where they fall. Then you know the sister going through. You only just put them on some draw about this big, put them right here and then let them go. Where they going? That's the same thing they got going on. That thing gonna stay closed. It's sick. Yep. Your butthole need to stay over. What if you get a go? You just dropped the turd. If you wanna laugh like straight people, your butthole gotta be closed. I'm telling you, it's a study. So y'all better take my word for it now. You need your butthole. I do this. Get on the toilet. Next time you take it down, bust out loud when them things come out. You're done there, kill yourself. Water be splashed everywhere. You gotta take a shower when you get through. I'm telling you, every time you see a sister laugh, they happy, say, you go ahead and laugh. I know you need to take a shower. Many times I know you're dirty. Listen, do y'all want help? These are clinical studies. These white folks get around. They lie about their study. This is my studies. I studied this and I realized I can laugh without, how many of y'all can laugh without turds just shooting out? How many of y'all straight? See, study concluded. See that? Look at all y'all in the experiment that went. See, these experiments we done done so we know it. They can't do that. So y'all just take my word for it and just come on and just follow. So we got to raise these kids and we got to save the ones we got. Where my young men at? Well, y'all raise your hand up. What was that? Y'all like women? Yes, sir. I'm gonna look in y'all face. Hold on, I'm gonna look in your face and ask y'all. You like women? What's your flavor? So what now? What is that? Anything but white. Chris, you like women? Huh, Chris? Yeah. What's your flavor? What you like? What is that? He said he don't know. That's how long as you like one. Gavin?
Yes, sir.
What's your flavor?
Chocolate.
Chocolate? There's more ice cream out there now. Alec? Dark chocolate. Oh, he in the dark women. Jace? You don't know what your flavor is? Keep living. What about Adam? You don't know your flavor? Kelly, black? What's your flavor, Kelly? What's your flavor? What's your flavor, Asa? What's your flavor? Hispanic? That don't talk. Go back across that fence. Sandy? Sandy every morning with all that Mexican music, everyone playing loud. Shane? Hold on, 65%. What you say? I'm sorry, what's your color? Anything but white? No. Danny, what's your flavor? Hispanic? For real? Oh, look at that, a little Latin lover. Then why you let your wife play all those Mexican music, man? Don't pull them back over there. They like, I'm like my dad. I'm going back across that gate right there. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all got a tuxedo? Y'all done. But after that, you got to go to the mall with a tuxedo. With a big old red, fat Tom and Jerry tie. Y'all want to know, they love that red. I don't know what it is. What's that? Well, yes. Yes, I already know, yes. Let me tell you something. Y'all was sitting on there, who that was? They was at the table. He was sitting at the table. He was sitting there. That's it. He was sitting out there. He was at the table there. Put his shirt up, showing his ass. I said, what you doing? He gonna show his ass. Gonna pull up, gonna show his ass. I said, boy, he gonna point at me. You the one? You ain't know I saw you, did you? He gonna point at me to my eye, you chatting too much. I just seen him at the table, just a dance. He just dancing with. He said, this ain't what. Look at these abs. I'm like, he crunk over him. What about it, Robert? What's our flavor? Huh? Black? He got that gold necklace too, ain't it? They gonna snatch him in, ain't it? You ain't got your necklace? They like that necklace now. You might get that necklace back. You know what I'm saying? We try to make sure we get him. I want to get him. What about D? What you like? Dark chocolate. What about Donovan? You know what flavor you like yet? Still looking. Ain't nothing wrong with that. AJ? You know what flavor you like yet? Still looking. What about you, dude?
I don't know.
You don't know. Ian, what you? Oh, okay. What about you, Ian? Milk chocolate. Okay. There we go. He got to put milk in here. What's there? Black and milk chocolate. Brandon? You don't know? Man, y'all see how Uncle done ratted y'all out? Look at them jokers looking down. They like, Uncle Rat? What y'all thinking right now? He a rat. What you thinking? He done ratted y'all out. But look how they looking. They saying, they're like, on live streaming for real? They looking at it. Y'all want me to do that for y'all? Handle that? Y'all want me to handle it for y'all? Go put that check up on that bed. Come on, I'm like the mall, we hate rats, don't we? I don't care. Y'all can trust me. Tell me something. I'm like, well, we good. We good, huh? We good. What about out there? Who else I got out there? Jordan? What you like, Jordan? Jamaican. What do you know about Jamaican? Yeah. That's all it can be on oxtail. How you come up with Jamaican? Hold on. Huh? Oh, he was born Jamaican. See, they were born Jamaican. That's what he said, born Jamaican. What we got there? Jonah, what you like? Dark chocolate. All right. What about you, bro? What you got, Eyes? What you like? What did he say? Caramel? Man, he choking picking candy, man. That's man, he said caramel. They out here, but listen, I tell everybody, get what you like. Don't limit yourself. Because you'll be surprised. You can have your eye for something, but you'll be surprised what you actually might like. And I know y'all young, and it's not impossible. You know, you could do that. And that's not good. You could pick and just stay with one if that's what you want to do. But for me, you'd be surprised. You'll find something in common with other people, other ethnicity, other than just your own race. And it ain't down in what they call black women down. But me, I just look at let it be people's choice. You'd be surprised who you'll find something in common. Just like, did you grow up thinking I want to marry a Japanese woman or an Asian woman? Okay. Somebody else, give me some. He said, ever since I was 2. I like, we didn't even know they was living back then. And 2? But I mean, some people have married, I mean, Justin, did you grow up, when you was a little child, think, I want to grow up and marry a black woman? Did you ever think about marrying any other race, or there wasn't nothing you thought about? Or? I
never really thought about it as a young age.
Yeah.
When I got older, I didn't discriminate.
That's what it was. What about you? Did you always think about growing up marrying a white person or somebody? So I'm just saying, you'd be surprised when you meet people, what you'll have in common with them. And I say that to tell everybody, you kind of leave open to really, I tell people, you want to get somebody you got things in common with, people that you can associate with. You know what I'm saying? You got people, that's like-minded. That's going to be more key than just holding to a color. Not impossible now for you to get what it is you're saying, but you want to leave your door open for, if I meet a person I feel like I genuinely engage with and I feel like the person is genuine, that's going to be key. You'd be surprised. I don't know. I remember this girl years ago, I was dating another girl, she was friends with her. And the only thing she wanted to date was light-skinned, curly hair, and green eyes. And she married a guy that I went to elementary with. Light-skinned, green eye, curly hair. And he tore that behind up. He beat the brakes off her. But she got what she wanted. Light-skinned, green eyes, curly hair. And he crunked that thing up on her head too, every time he got a chance. He wound up eventually getting killed. He was just that kind of nigga. But so when you look at things like that, people, you can limit yourself or you can grab the wrong thing because you're just looking at the color. So again, that ain't criticizing none of y'all for what you're saying you want, or not saying it's wrong what you want. I would just leave the door open to make sure, first of all, I would get somebody I feel like I genuinely connect with. That's gonna be key. Everything else can, a lot, it's other races that marry and they have great relationships. You might look at them and say, that's odd. It's odd because it's different for you, but for other people, it works for them. And the biggest thing is you want to make sure you get what works for you. So I would just say, don't limit yourself just to a color. You know what I'm saying? That mean I just wanted a white woman. I wanted a Chinese woman first, an Asian woman, because they just do your toe. That's all they said. Man, they came back. They said, man, they do your feet and everything. I was going to the man. I said, man, as soon as I get out the boat, I'm getting one. I'll come at him, man. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to do like Koch. I'm going to get my eyes sewed back if I had to. Ain't that right? Get it done. That man got the surgery and everything when he got over there on the boat. But no, I mean, just honestly, get what you like. Sandy, did you ever think you were married what they would call an African American? Oh, yeah. She said, oh, yeah. You were looking for an African American with a tuxedo in the mall. On the black guy. Oh, yeah. See, some people say that's that. See, that's amazing. Some of them already just like black guys. Trying to see the rest of them here. Yeah, that's what it is. That's the main thing. Get what you like. Just make sure it's the opposite sex. And don't get nobody to mistreat you. And don't get nobody to mistreat them. Don't get nobody that I don't agree with that. Don't marry nobody to mistreat them or make a fool of them. You get somebody, you treat them right. You want to be treated right, you make sure you treat somebody right. Don't put it all on them. That's the main thing. Y'all got it? I haven't said all that, so I'll be bringing in some white women and other Oriental women in and see I'm talking about kids. We'll see where y'all at. How many of y'all might try jumping over the fence and try a different flavor? My young men. How many of y'all young men want to be saved? All right, so I'm bringing some different little young flavors in now. Don't be scared to jump over the fence. Now you want to jump over. I thought you were so sold on this milk chocolate. Man, you're unstable as water. No. I just mess with you. I mess with you. I appreciate it. Also, I want to know that who won last night? Okay. Who counted up the answers? That's tight. Nobody ain't counted up no answer. Yes. And who had them on? The original question
was, I said for all the marbles.
this for all the marble. Hold on. Who said it was for all the marble? Oh, you said it. That's all you had to say. Put in the answer.
Dexter saved us.
Dexter say y'all.
And then, like always, Team 2 gets the belt. And all these new rules start applying.
Is that?
Let's do another question. And it just happened.
That's that happening.
So really, Team 2 won. That's all.
How many of y'all don't agree with that? Don't agree. They don't agree.
Why would they preach this?
So this is what we'll do. If I ask a question, so that y'all are answering now on the team, y'all have to answer in the thread. So we'll see who has it. Somebody be monitor. We gotta have somebody to monitor to see after I get an answer. If one of them pop up then that late, it don't count. Cause I know some people in here who will look and say, yeah, my answer just came through right after the previous. I've been sent mine. My internet's slow. How many of y'all are you that line? Justin, Bryce. I'll let y'all name who would try that. Who in here would try that now? Princess said Bryce. Who else y'all said do that? Karen? No. I just throw it out there, Karen. Who else would try that? Chris? Wow. Chris? Like after I get an answer, they'll holler, they'll shoot it through later, then tell me they been sent it, the internet was slow. Who else?
Like they could send the wrong answer
They
before you say it,
send them.
but if you was the option that they change it.
Oh my, oh they did? Wow, y'all hear that? You screenshots, you caught them. So we're gonna have a screenshot. That's bad, it says you can go in and edit and change your answer. Which one of y'all would try to do that? About to say, you did it. That might wait. After I answered it? Man, that's so honest, I don't know how to answer. They're like, I'm used to catching people, then they like try to lie again. He said, I did. I like, after I don't know how to reply right now. They're like, I wasn't expecting that one. Then they're right, that throw me. So who else? Humpback. Haywood. So Ernie, you're gonna be in charge of watching, make sure nobody try to change their answer if one come up. Can we trust you, Ernie? Cause you came that door once I see him at that wrong door, I said, suspect. And that's gonna be. And when they start trying to explain, your question was, don't worry about the question. You came up with an answer, so it don't change. What's the answer? So we'll be watching to see. So y'all will put it in the thread and we'll see if there's a question come up. You got your phone? Well, we wanted it now so we could check it. That way nobody can holler. No, I had said something. If it's in now, what you gonna say, Boston? All right, we'll try to sing. All right, let's see what's going on up here. Haywood. I already know who it is. Don't worry about it. See, I told y'all over and over how to do this, huh? Get on, chimp! Get on! I try to see what they do, because they got the 5 finger. The only thing with the chimp, the thumb don't hold like it's supposed to. He more like this. And when the chimp try to hold like a human, it'll slip and fall. And that's why you got to be ready at all times and let a chimp know. How y'all remember how you supposed to look at the chimp? So the chimp know you serious. Let me see y'all serious face to get a devil tongue. Come on, let me see it. Devil, oh yeah. Y'all, how you can test it? When you see a chimp, you just do it to him. Let me see, Jahi, can I borrow you for a second? Good thing.
Show us that bike trick, preacher.
Huh?
Show us that bike trick.
No, I'm trying to watch this. So like everything I don't want you to do, okay? All right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do like this. Do like this. Do like this. All right, that's it. Wave at people like that. Now, what's happened right now? Could you repeat the actions I just showed you? Let me show you. Start him, and we're here, and we went here, and then wave. Okay. And you just do it. Can you repeat them? Just repeat them. So what happened, and I told y'all what happened, okay? When you deal with the chimp, see, everything I did, the chimp think he has the ability to do it. So now what has happened, we have broken the line between man and beast. Now what has to happen, I have to get the chimp to realize I am man, you are monkey. Get down, chimp, get down, get down. See that? Thank you, guys. So we appreciate that. See, if I ain't do that, see, that thing know the chimp gonna try to drive and go on the spreadway and kill somebody. So you have to know when you have the chimp, when you cut the chimp, because the chimp doing too much, the chimp gonna think it's a human, okay? So y'all got that clear. Don't tell everybody y'all been live streaming ain't on, is it? Everybody don't need to know that. So whenever y'all run into a wild and dangerous chimp, monkey, that's how you do it, and they automatically fall right back in line, all right? So let's look at this. We didn't finish that one. We'll look at that Romans 15:4. Let's get our foundation. Because I did leave that off last night, later dinner. Whoa. Y'all ready for it? Romans 15 and 4. I'm sorry. Listen.
For what things soever Nikatab,
So whatever was written before,
Nikatab for our Lamed, that through endurance and the Nakum of the Ketubim, we might have Tikva.
important. So our foundation been set, been applied. I still want to go back and, well, I'm still looking at Romans 10th chapter. I think we left off at 10 and 5 last night. Let's see where we're going with this. I think we got some headway on looking at the first few verses, getting some understanding about it. Do y'all agree?
Yes, sir.
So we left off, I think we left off at 5. 4, let me see 4. Oh yeah, okay, we look at that. Like 5, 15, 10 and 4, listen.
For the end of the Torah is Mashiach unto Sadak to everyone that among.
So that's what everybody was looking for, the righteousness and understanding that. So now we're talking about, earlier we talked about how they didn't understand the Sadak, the justness or the justice of Elohim. And he started letting us know that was the conclusion with Yahushua coming on the scene for us. That was the conclusion for us. That's what we've been looking for, to trying to get to the end of the matter, find out exactly how does all this really work for us. Come on. What
Or
happened?
Mushah Katab, that the Sadak which is of the Torah, the Ish that shall do it shall kai by it.
So when he enjoined us to it, it also obligated us to everything with it. Just like, for instance, for those that don't understand, how many of you have driver's license? Good. So when you got those licenses, you actually enjoin yourself into any tickets. Like they come up with these groups talking about you don't have to take tickets and you buy a lot. You actually do when you got a driver's license. You sign for anything these people give you, whatever it did. That's part of it. It doesn't just give you a privilege to drive. It also has some things in it that you might find conflicting, but there's also another side to it as well. When you violate, that you've already agreed to it, whether you sign. I ain't gonna sign it. You don't have to sign it. You got a driver's license. Your driver's license already enjoin you into it. Just like with the Torah, you have what we're gonna like, the benefits of it, but you also have the consequences of it if you go against it. And that's what we're trying to understand. This is where he put us at, that Mushah described the righteousness of, that a man that doth these things, that he should live by them. So anytime when a person, this is what people don't realize, say the Shabbat is, I'm not supposed to pick up this. The day of Shabbat agreed, I picked it up, so I just violated it. Now, when we go back and look at the Torah for whatever the punishment of the violation is, I consented to that. People don't realize, they don't believe that you consented to it. Without you knowing it, you actually consented to whatever it said. That's why when you look at a person being, when he had to kill or murder a person, you actually consented to it because you're a part of it. Hello? That goes on. Listen, you also agree to whatever the benefits of it. Everybody that's a part of the Torah that's connected, they get $2 million. How many of y'all say, nah, I don't want that? Because that's like, I don't want none of the punishment. I don't want none of the rewards. So how many of y'all you don't want the $2 million? So everybody want the $2 million. Yes, then because you're enjoying to it, you got to take all of it. Y'all got it? And that's what we're trying to learn. What is that? That's a lot of time, like I said, you just run in, we join stuff, we didn't even realize what were all the consequences along with what are all the benefits of. Just like with Yahushua telling us in the Torah how he visited the iniquity of the Benim of the Abbas upon the Benim to the 3rd and the 4th Tuledah. And then he talked about how he showed Rekam concede to thousands of them that are harboring. So you got both sides of it. you want the benefits of the recom, of the conceit, of the favor, then you also got to consent to the part where you also take a part of whatever the penalty is of the violation. So that's what he let us know, that Musha said, a man that doth these things, he shall live by it. Let's see what he told us. Listen. 6.
But the Sadak, which is of Amanah, speaketh thus, say not in thy law, who shall ascend into Shamayim, that is to bring Mashiach down.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Or who shall descend into the deep, that is to bring up Mashiach again from the moot.
Yeah.
But what saith the Katab? The Debar is nigh thee, even in thy paw and in thy law. This is the Debar of Amanah, which we preach.
So they ain't talking about ascending up into Shamayim, that is to bring him down, and who shall descend down, that is to bring him up. And they's telling us that the word is going to do this. That's interesting. I'm trying to think in my mind exactly how would you kind of put that to kind of get an understanding to it. So now you ask yourself, when we read about this in the Torah, it never used the phrase bring down the Mashiach. I think it referred more to the Debar. I think that's in All Ahad Dabarim, the 30th chapter. That's how the Greeks wrote it. So when he told us about the Mashiach here, that's not something I remember it saying in the Torah. I think it talks about more of the Debar. Correct? Let's see it. How about we see it so we understand? Because how many of y'all have never read that? Everybody's read it. I think you don't put a lot of attention into it. So how about we really put some attention to it? Let's see if we understand it. How about that? So all our hot dabarim, they'll call Deuteronomy. Let me erase some of this stuff up here. They're called all aha dabarim. Let me see. Let's see, 30 and 1, it should go down. Maybe 8, 10. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Listen. Oh, you went to 14? Is it verse 14? Oh, 11? All right. We'll do 11 then. Let's go up. Let's see 9, since we're down. How about that? Let's see. Listen.
For this command, and Yahuwah, the Elohim, shall barak thee in every work of thine hands,
benefit on you.
In the offspring of thy basar, and in the offspring of thy cattle, and in the pari of thy land, because Yahuwah thy Elohim will again rejoice over thee for tube, as he rejoiced over thy abode.
So there had to be some things that he said he's going to do it again, which means that something happened that it stopped. Just picking up for now, lets us know if I'm going to do it again, that means it happened before. So it means something happened that possibly it stopped. Now it'll be very interesting to find out what happened that it stopped. I'm hearing him saying what he's going to do again, and then he was relating it back to something they should know, something that happened with their Abba. They consider people like Abraham and Yaakov and Jacob. These are men that you consider simply because they're patriarchs for what they've done. I think we would kind of look at them as I guess an archetype. Write it down. ARCHETYPE. Archetype. Y'all young people, that's y'all new word then for the day. ARCHETYPE. Archetype. The word you're probably more familiar with is prototype. Because the reason why you're looking at them, and then what you'll become, what is it? I think it's archetypal. ARCHETYPAL. That's what you'll become. First word, archetype. A very typical example of a certain person or a thing. Because now he just told us about how he was going to come back and rejoice over us again as he did over our Abba. So our Abba would be, the fathers would be an archetype for us. Okay? So that'll be pretty much what we'll use for what we'll follow, what they'll call a makeshift. We'll kind of look at them as more or less as what we kind of, for symbolism, okay? You didn't show an archetypal. Just change the E and make it a AL. That is right now. That came on archetypal. Very typical of a certain kind of person or a thing. So that's what we're looking. Related to a denoting an original that has been imitated. That's what we're trying to do. All right? We're trying to imitate the first. Y'all got to think about why would he keep telling us what he's going to do to us, then he said, as your fathers. What would that mean? We would have to know something about our fathers, wouldn't we? We would have to know something about the pattern of behavior. So if he's saying he's going to do it again, that means we would be like an archetypal, that we're going to follow, we're going to follow the prototype, right? It's the prototype, right? Now you would think there was a prototype before that. So why are we talking somewhere went somewhere? Let's see if there's Romans the 5th chapter. Man, that thing went, I thought that was a bug in him. So 5th chapter of the book of Romans 5. See about 8. We'll read down. Okay. This is 5 and 8. Listen.
But Elohim commended his Ahab toward us.
See, they want to use charity, so they moving in on you. Because
when as yet we were Kataim, according to the time, Mashiach moot for us, much more therefore, being now Sadak by his dawn, shall we be Yasha from wrath through him.
See that? And remember, what did Yasharal not know? They didn't know the Sadak. They didn't know how just he was. He was that just. You was in a state that where you were in condemnation. Yet that while you was in that state, that the Mashiach came and died for you. He said that was just me being Sadak. Before that, he was asking you a couple of questions about that. He was talking about how some would verily do it. He said pre-adventure for a good man. He said for a righteous man, people would even dare to die. But yet alone for a good one, he said, listen, think about it. How many people going to sit here and die for somebody? They'll be like, I ain't doing it. That's their situation. They need to deal for it themselves. He said, you was in Qatar. You was a sinner. He said, the Mashiach moved for you. He let you know how man judges things, how man look at things. And then he came back to let you know that Mashiach came along and he moved for you while you was in your sin. All right, come on.
For if, when we were enemies, we were reconciled to Elohim by the moot of his being.
That's it. That's why I always give him. Now when I look at Yahushua, I talk about his moot and I palau. Y'all know what I talk about his moot? And right, him becoming our zabak, he became the sacrifice. He became the offering for us. In exchange for us. Sometimes people take somebody and they'll hold them for ransom. Wasn't it? For a certain amount of money or for an object or something. That's what they did. We were held in ransom. He the one that redeemed us. Isn't that right? Made up for a bad aspect or something. Hello? Mm-hmm. Okay. That's why, I mean, when you know and you understand it, you learn to appreciate it more and you understand the value of why you keep a consistency in your living. When you don't understand it, you don't know why you keep it consistent because you start looking at other things happening, they become the justifiable to you for your reason of veering away from. We understand what was put into you. This wasn't just some, you know what, man, they done screwed up, let my son die. No, look how much lettering you have to read. Look at how much information you had to go through because it's that complex, your situation. He had to put this together in a way where it still be right, where he couldn't come up in a state of condemnation. You understand, dude? Think about if you build something, you do all that work to find out you got to tear it down. You're like, are you serious? After I've done all this work, you'll find every reason you can to justify keeping it because you've done so much. It took so much time. It took so much. I remember there was a guy years ago. He built the house, paid for it himself, built to put it up. Listen, dummy, didn't do what he's supposed to do. Should have went through and got inspected. Put the house up. The house was off. I think about that much. A few inches. They made him tear the whole house down. He had to tear the whole. He heard this and that was everything he put in. Had to tear it down simply because he was off. And you know what looked like a small thing? They looked at it's off. You got to tear it down. See, that's what Yahuwah looked at. Yahuwah is considering. He's the existing one. When I do something, he said, I do it that it'll continue. I'm not doing something just so I can tear it down. I have an intent. I have a purpose. So although there have been some failures, none of these failures haven't went through that he said, I've already went through and I've examined this. You know what I'm saying? I already put the archetypes in place. I saw where it's a fail and I realized, don't become what'd you say? Yeah, archetypal, and where you'll repeat the bad actions. I need you to repeat the good actions. So this is why we go through and we start reading and we use it for our fundamentals. Because if you don't know, you'll follow the wrong pattern. Before you know it, you'll be off. All your work will be in vain. So our goal is to come back and look at these things so we can consider, okay? So now he's telling us that when we were enemies, and see, that's something you need to realize too. When you do certain things, you're an enemy. I think when people consider these things, because I'm going to tell you what happened. A lot of us, we don't consider ourselves as being that bad of a person. Because you try to grade yourself off of a child molester, a homosexual, a murderer, bank robber. You're a bad person, you commit sin. You're an enemy. You, sir, you, ma'am, are an enemy. I am an enemy. Anytime you train, you don't need to think, I'm still, Christianity, I'm still a child of God, though. That's your problem. You never became his son. So when you start to understand that, that makes a difference. Then you look at, I don't want to violate the relationship. Because I'm thinking, even though when I do wrong, I'm still, like they say, I'm still his, though. It don't matter if I get drunk. It don't matter if I get high. It don't matter if I commit fornication, adultery, or whatever it is, I'm still his child. How many of y'all heard that or you believe that? Because people were saying that lie. You're not. The man said, these people were sinners, and they talking about Yasharal. He talking about you were enemies. He said you're an enemy. All right, I need you to put in there when this happened. That's it. That's your question. Put it in there. When it happened. Good. Good answer. When I'm going to get my answer? Y'all typing it? Y'all thinking? Pay attention. For when, let's go back down to 9. Let's see 9. Come on. Let me see 9. For the Mashiach moot for us, much more, therefore, being now justified by his dam, shall we be saved, Yasha, from the wrath through him. Y'all got it? And we saw this happen. Y'all can put it in there too when you saw this happen. Similarity. Symbolism. Archetypal. Okay? Hello? What you got to answer? Not before they do it. I need them to type it first. Are y'all typing yet? There's 2 of them. Are y'all thinking? Thinking or typing? Typing? Who's still thinking? This is what I need with the Aku. Y'all got an Aku thread, don't you? All right, type. So they can type it in. Now I can get her in it like catch Lanita now. Look at her. She gonna put a picture of herself doing like that. Like, come on, Aku. Let's see. Are y'all typing that down? Huh? So this is going with y'all new words y'all learn. Archetypal. So it's a pattern being followed. It's imitating something, right? I remember everything imitates something. So that's 1, 2 questions. All right? Do I have my answer? Just your team typing?
My team's protesting.
Hold on. How y'all protesting? How y'all is Bryce on y'all team?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all protesting. That's a good one. I like that. How many of y'all like that? Oh, boy, them hypocrites, ain't they? They just gonna make up their own little way. Y'all typing?
Stay strong.
They stay strong. What team? What about the kingdom? Y'all typing? Uh-oh, I already know that wrong. Get ready to bite your lip. That chimp ain't got away. So if when we were enemies, we were reconciled by Elohim, by the moot of his being, much more being reconciled shall we be Yasha from his Katab, from his Kai, his life. So this one I'm talking about understanding is if when we were enemies, we were reconciled. We'll stay here. This is what I want to know. When this occurred, okay? Y'all got me? That make it a little easier on that one. All cool type. Y'all already type. Hello? Let's type. So what about that key? Y'all got it? That makes sense? Y'all type? Y'all through typing? All right, what in? Okay. Ian praying. Don't let me be wrong. Ian, what your answer gonna be? That's a lot of paper towel. You gonna blow his nose for a year. Oh, again, I know. I thought, oh, that for you. Oh, I ain't now. Like, God almighty, bro. You can wipe 2 elephants behind with that much paper towel. What's your answer you have? Did you understand the question for your answer? Oh, you got a question? What's your question then?
I got a question. I got the answer for question 2, but not for question 1.
Oh, not for question 1. So what I would look at is this. Let's see, Barashit 1. I'm sorry, 3. Barashit, Genesis 1. I'm sorry, 3. And let's see if it's 16. Three and 16. All right, let's see. Listen.
And to the Ashah he said, I will greatly multiply thy pains and thy groanings. In pain thou shalt bring forth Banim, and thy submission shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
And that don't happen now. Now they 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the home messed up. Uh-huh. Like 17, might be 16. I mean, 15. Let me say. No, 16. 15, I mean. Go ahead.
And I will put enmity between thee and the Ashah, and between thy seed and her seed. He shall watch against thy head, and thou shalt watch against his heel.
So this is when our estate came into place. Enmity means mutual hatred. Can we look at the word enmity? I guess it's good for us to understand situations. So situation, like, I'm just taking when we were enemies. I'm trying to think, when was the enemy? I mean, I've never seen myself. This is the thing about, how many of y'all viewed yourself as an enemy against Elohim, committing wrong? How many of y'all say, you know what? I'm an enemy against Elohim. I hate, you don't think that, you feel sorry saying, I ain't where I need to be, but I still love the Lord. And how do we get that concept? Because he's saying that's not true. You don't, you couldn't. And because people have that concept in their thinking, people don't make the real necessary changes. So now when I consider, you know, these people got to think about, hold on, so enmity, the state of feeling or being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. He says, that's what I did. You got animosity against me. He said, I'm going to put a mutual, you and him. So between Satan and us, we both hate him. Hello? Okay, let's see what he told us. See if that's the book of, the 15th chapter of the book of Yehukanan. Say that 15:22. They call it John Yehukanan, which means Yahuwah. What they would try to say is gracious. Let's see. Again, I think how you see things play a part on your reactions. Y'all got it? And how you've been told things. Like I said, nobody here, we all agreed, including me. I never, no matter what I did, if somebody stopped me and say, listen, man, you know you sitting here drinking, you know, man, you hate God. I've been like, man, where you get that from? I'd have been confused. It'd have threw me, because I'm thinking, if I hate you, I'll do something to you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm thinking, I hate you. I don't want nothing to do with you. And you know what? I'm thinking, saying, wow, that is the truth. I did hate him. Because what I just described is what I did. That's why I wasn't going to church at the time what we knew to be church, because I hated him. I ain't want nothing to do with him. I ain't want nothing to do what he told me to do. I ain't want to associate to the degree. I want to associate where if it'll help me or benefit me, or I ain't want to look like a all-out sinner, I'll say something, agree to something. But not knowing, it don't matter how you cover it up, how you do it. The man said, this is where y'all. Let's see what he said. Listen.
If I had not come
and did what?
Spoken to them.
Tell them what happened.
They would not have kata.
Okay, so you wouldn't have the offense. You would not have missed the mark. But now,
they have no excuse for their kata.
Wow. They ain't got no excuse for it. Before it was inexcusable. Isn't that right? Before you had a rationale for why. Listen what he said.
He that hated me
He that do what?
hated me,
Do what?
hated my Abba also.
So when he told him inside the gun, was the son there as we know Yahushua in the flesh? No, the father was. And now he said that went down. He said going to be between you and your seed too. Even your children going to hate. So the hate started with him and it continued down to the being. He was telling us, we never just paid attention. See that? He that hated me hated my Abba also. You see that? And you know how you got in that point. Only reason you hate him is because of sin. Because he identified what's wrong. He showed us things we didn't want to know about. I said, nobody don't want nobody to come identify stuff about him. Nobody want to be called out. Man, look at your shoe ugly. You know when you put them on, you might try to hide, but that's all I got. Hey, look at the man's shoe. Hey, you like, I don't like that. I really don't like for somebody. Why would you do that? Why would you embarrass me and call me out like that? Why wouldn't you just leave me alone? That's what Yahushua did. Hey, these are sinners, all of them, transgressors. We're like, why would you do that? Why would you make somebody feel bad? Why would you do it? Matter of fact, I hate you for that. I knew you would. I knew you would. He told us what was going to happen. So the purpose of Yahushua coming was to try to reconcile this. Let us see, first of all, what state you in, then put us in reconciliation. Y'all got it? Put us in a remission. Got it? Because this is almost like a cancer for us. The fact that we agree to ourselves that because we're not doing everything we're supposed to do, we're still not an enemy. You, ma'am, you, sir, are his enemy. You, sir, you, ma'am, is the enemy. You needed to know that. I need to know that. I need to be able to process that in my mind. So now I start considering if I do something that's against him, I ain't still all right. You're not all right. That means you hate me. Hello? See back there, see that 11th verse? We'll come down and see something. We done jumped a little bit. I think it's on. Yeah, 22 first. Then I said back 11. Let's see where they go. Listen.
These things I have spoken to you, that my shusha may be in you, and your shusha may be filled. This is my amar, that you ahab one another, as I have ahab you. Greater ahab than this no each hath, that they each lay down his kaif for his rayah.
Companion.
You are my rayah if you do the things that I amar you.
See that? What happened?
I will not now call you abadim, for the abad knoweth not what his adon do. But I have called you rayah, because all things whatsoever I have shama of abi, I have made known to you. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and have appointed you that you should go and should bring forth pari, and your pari should remain, that whosoever you shall ask of the Abba in my Shem, he may give it to he may give it you.
I think you said whosoever, and whatsoever you should ask of my Abba in my Shem, he may give it to you.
These things I amar you, that you ahab one another. If the Olam hate you, know ye that it hath hated me before you.
See that? They hate go way back before you got him.
If you had been of the Olam,
then what happened?
the Olam would ahab its own.
See that? What happened?
But because you are not of the Olam,
What happened?
but I have chosen you out of the Olam,
What happened?
therefore the Olam hated you.
See that? They also gonna hate the people that keep it. So it don't go down to people say, you know, like a lot of y'all do, because you'll be kind of brainless. You'll listen to your family, your friends, other. Remember, tell you, it ain't you, it's him I hate. So what make him love you and hate me? What exactly would make them love? He just told them, if they hate you, make no mistake, they hated me. And they hate me because I'm not of the Olam. And they gonna hate you too. No, that ain't true. They love me. They ain't got no problem with me. Guess why they ain't got no problem with you? Who know why? Because you're alone. So you see that? Now you can differentiate. People got their mind saying, well, it ain't me they got a person. They just got a problem with preaching. I know. I got you. And they can't have no problem with you because you the problem. See that? That's how he wanted them to recognize. They already knew when folk hate him. They already knew why. Because you hate him. You hate the being and you hate the Abba. So our goal is to make sure we're not in this estate. Y'all got it? Because there are a lot of things we never really looked at and we never really considered. Because although we might do some things and get what we call a little off or what is it, like go astray like it's something simple, and we say we still his child, we still no. He said at that point you need to reconcile. You know, we need to reconcile this. We need to make this right. And making this right is you getting back to where you need to be. That's the serve purpose of them looking at, now I'm going to make it where all your benim are going to be pari, fruitful, offering, fruitful, and all these things going to happen. These were all based upon condition of you not being my enemy. He was all set on you keeping the amor that I gave you. Just like he told him and when he gave it to him in Sinai, he gave it to him because if you're a hardman, then you'll keep him. Hello? This is where we're at. If we're going to fix these situations, then we got to go back and look at what was our belief system, or what is our belief system. The reason we don't feel like we need to come up to the mark, because we've been missing it. We've been justifying some things because we're looking at other people and we're using other people for our measuring stick. You can't use nobody for your measuring stick. We're looking at here, and this is your archetype. This is it right here. This is what you have to emulate. This is what you have to demonstrate. Once he tells us this is the whole purpose of giving to it, then you know what your role is. And we hadn't fully known what our role was. Well, we've known it to a degree. We just didn't realize how important it was to completely fulfill it. Y'all got it? Because we thought that everybody does something, and with that being in state and being in place, then it's justifiable that we cannot be fully where we need to be. Which means we're back to where we started before he came. Hello? Because that's what they were doing. They were missing the mark. So how can we miss the mark now and still be right? He felt like a key component was, if I can reconcile these people by the moot, because the wages of sin, what was again? That's why we know. So we do understand why he had to move. He had to die, because that was the wages. That's what they call. That's the expense of sin, is death. So he was going to have to die in order to redeem us for that, make up for that bad aspect, okay? From this point, what was going to happen? He was going to be here for us to continue to keep sinning? Because then we back to where we were, because we had that before, and every year we would come in and keep confer. Well, we would come in, and we wouldn't eat, we wouldn't drink, and for a period of time, and then this would be so we could reconcile for our nefesh, for our soul. He looked at, I don't want this once a year stuff no more. I want each to live right all the days of his life. And he put together and said, one thing I know is missing, they are being destroyed because of lack of knowledge. So it was imperative that we get an understanding when we read and realize you need knowledge. You need the knowledge of the Abba, so you know I already know the consequences. It wouldn't make sense for me to do it. I already know this is going to be a violation, and it's not something that's going to be done away with. See, before you had people that could continue for a while, but then they couldn't continue by reason of death. That's what sin, it only allows you to go for so long. So with the Son coming on the scene, he's extended the time for us, giving us this time so we can reconcile and get it right, get information. This information can keep you from falling. Listen, let me show you something. Fourth chapter right quick of the book of, Matthew. Fourth chapter, book of Matthew, verse 1. Go ahead.
Then Yahushua was led by the Ruach into Bamidbar to be tempted by Satan.
Hold on for a minute. 3 and 1, Lee. Barashit 3 and 1. Listen. They don't have it up now? Okay. So you got to play between the two. Is that the heat on? Y'all cold? Come on, go. Start dancing in your seat. Shaking it. Okay. Walk. Walk it out. Talk it out. Walk. Walk. All right. Let's see. This is 3 and 1. Barashit. Listen.
Now, The Nakash was the most crafty of all the brutes on the Arats, which Yahuwah Elohim made.
Brute. That's what they put out there. B-R-U-T-E. Brute. Means purely physical. Even shout, you know what Cuff told us about that? He said these are brute beasts, made to be destroyed. So it bad when you know, and people call people your big brute, your big dumb brute. They don't say that no more. That's they're purely physical. That's why the flesh. That's why the book told the day that in the flesh. He said you can't please Elohim. You can't please him in the flesh. And that used to fool people. You know, people say that's why I'm spiritual. People stupid. No, he's talking about the mindset of the flesh. What's the mind? What is the flesh prone to do? That's why there's no way to please him in the flesh, because the flesh is prone to sin. That's why he said, let this, what was that? Mind be where? Wow. That was in the Mashiach, which means the information that he had that kept him from violating the Torah allowed the Abba to be pleased with him. Y'all got it? And not the works he did in the flesh. The works we do in the flesh are going to come up contrary to what the will of Elohim is. That's why we had to have the information so it can govern the flesh, so it can bring the flesh into subjection. But when you don't have the information, what you say? Man, I ain't gonna lie, I got weak. You'll be on a diet, you ain't supposed to eat something, what you do? Man, I ain't gonna lie, I had to eat me one. That's the flesh. What's the flesh? You'll be going, what you do? You'll stop, that's the flesh. You see what I'm saying? That's the flesh. So you start to understand. That's why he said they that in the flesh, they can't please him. These folks go around and say, see, that's why I'm spirit. See, brother, you flesh, so you can't please God. It's just stupid. It's information, people. And people make stuff so complex to it just throws you. You're not, hold on, see, people in the flesh can't please God. See, my God, see, people like that, but see, I'm spirit. You're like, wow, I'm lost. A lot of people just give up because you don't know enough to combat the conversation, and you fall into the foolishness of these people, and that thing, you just give up. You're like, how am I ever be spirit? I don't get it. These people, I told the guy, showed me he had a gun, he said, I'm new. I'm looking at that wound that man on. He said, it said, if any man be in Christ, he a new creature. Listen, he looked at that, I looked at, this man really believe that thing gone. This a nice old gun wound. He said, brother, it's not that, I'm new. Because that was his understanding. See, the way he understood it, he looked at, he had to believe that in order for him to be saved. That he was new. If he believed that was still there, and that was something he got when he was old before he, quote unquote, came to church, then he believed that he would be going against the word. But he talked about a man being new, it was because of the activity he would do now because of the information. You got it? That will make him new. You ain't gonna go get no new face and arms and legs. If you were amputee before you got it, you're an amputee after you get it. Sitting at the wheelchair, come on, put me on the ground. I'll take out. You like, nah, just stop it. I ain't don't like, just stop it. You finna mess up and I ain't gonna get you up. You know what I'm saying? So, but if people that will be adamant about pushing something, and it'd be simple because they just lack the understanding. So it made sense to come in and make sure that we got an understanding. That's what they told her. Before he finished reading that, see that Olive Yukanan said that 5:17? Let me see what he told you. Let's see how they knew. How about that? 1 John, they'll call it. Five look like a 6. Like that either. All right, listen.
All iniquity is kata, and there is a kata unto moot. Well, that reads different.
That's not under moot, isn't it?
It reads different.
Oh, he said it is one that's unto moot. Come on.
We know that whosoever is born of Elohim,
The what?
kata not.
Listen to that. Don't do it. Listen.
But the Tuledath of Elohim preserveth him, and the Rosha one touches him not.
I don't know how they're going to use Tuledah. Okay, preserveth him, and the wicked one toucheth him not. Listen.
We know that we are of Elohim.
Listen what he said. We know that we are of Elohim. Tell us about the rest of everybody else.
And the whole Elam is seated in Rosha.
See that? Listen.
And we know that the Ben of Elohim is come.
What do we know?
the being of Elohim is come,
How do we know?
and he hath given us understanding that we may know the Amat of Elohim, the Mat Elohim.
See that? So the people, I know he came, I got the spirit. They just said they knew he came, and they say he gave them an understanding. And according to 24 and 45 of the book of Oriah, he said, then open he their understanding. That they might do what? They can understand the writings. So the writings were there just to have understanding. Without understanding, how you gonna do it? Hello? In fact, he even talked about people he gonna destroy in the book of Romans. He said, without understanding. He said he's gonna destroy you. He showed it, and it was prevalent. When a person went in, if they offered the Zabak, if they did it wrong, he killed them. He killed them on the spot. And people would look and say, wow, all they trying to do is a service. Why would you kill them? And I mean, they were trying. They just got it wrong. He said they shouldn't have got it wrong because I told them how to do it. So if you got it wrong, one or two things. You willingly went against or you were ignorant. And if you were ignorant, you shouldn't have been in there. See, we going to continue. People just don't want to accept it. You're only going to come up one or two ways. Either one going to be detrimental to you. Not knowing is going to be very dangerous for you. All that stuff you're thinking is going to be very dangerous in the mosh spot, okay? Knowing and going against is going to be dangerous. This is why it's to our benefit to make sure we know. They just told you they know that he came. And not only did he just come, he fed us with fish. That they said, we know he came because he fed 5,000 men, not including women and children. It because the woman touched the hem of his garment. It because he raised up the daughter of Jairus. None of that. They said he gave us an understanding. And this is for what reason?
And they were moving.
Oh, they were moving.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
watching you move. Come on.
It may be in his Amat being, this is the Amat Elohim of Kai Elam.
That's what they realized. They realized that was life for them. So we come back over, let's go back over to what we read in the 3rd chapter of the book of Bereshit. I'll just show y'all the difference, okay? Why it's two instances. We're going to look at archetype and when it's not good to be archetypal. All right, let's see. Listen.
Now the Nakash was the most crafty of all the brutes on the Arat, which Yahuwah Elohim made. And the Nakash said to the Ashah, wherefore has Elohim said, eat not of every ox of the gun. And the Ashah said to the Nakash, we may eat of the pari of the ox of the gun, but of the pari of the ox, which is in the midst of the gun, Elohim said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye moot.
Come on.
And the Nakash said to the Ashah, ye shall not surely moot, for Elohim knew that in whatever ye should eat of it, your would be open, and you would be as Elohim, knowing Tub and Rosha.
What happened?
And the Ashah saw that the ox was too for food, and that it was pleasant to the to look upon, and beautiful to contemplate, and having taken of its pari, she ate, and she gave to her husband also with her, and they ate.
That's good. We'll go back to 4 and 1, Matthew. Listen.
Then Yahushua was led by the Ruach into the Bamidbar to be tempted by Satan. And when he had fasted 40 Yamim and 40 Layla, afterwards he was hungry.
Listen.
And the tempter coming said to him, if thou be the ben of Elohim, amar that these Aban be made Lakam. Who answered and said, it is Katab, not in Lakam alone doth Ish Kai, but in every debar that proceedeth from the Pa of Elohim.
And that's important because he told them in 2 and 16 of the book of Bereshit that the day they eat it, they were going to surely moot. They were living by the word. He told them how they were going to do it. The word, the fact that we keep it. That's what David said. He hid it in his law that he might not qatar against them. But see, when you allow the flesh to override and the flesh lack information, it's going to be one or two reasons why you find yourself in Kataim. It's going to be through ignorance or you willfully doing it. Both of them are dangerous.
That's right.
None of them are escape. But yet he came along and giving us recom to come along to consider our situation, our status. The reason we're looking at two different people, yet being tempted by the same enemy. And one saying, my flesh desire to eat, but I'm going to maintain my ways like he told me. One gave into it because at the end of the day when you're hungry, that stuff ain't important. I got to get something to eat. I just be honest with you. And it looks like a good decision. Same thing with Asu. He gave up his birthright for something to eat. So all these similarities that we had that came through, that little archetype, are things we can't follow. We use them for example to realize why we don't. We use Yahushua, he became an archetype for us now. Somebody that came in and that resisted. And how he resisted, he combated with knowledge. He said, oh, let me think. Because I ain't stupid, you trying to trick me. This is not a defense. A defense is always Satan is going to come to try to attack you to get you to go against what he told you to do. So it's important for you to know what you were instructed to do. So then you need to know the wiles of Satan. Since I know the things he told me to do, he's going to come on every end to attack me, to try to convince me that there's a logic in going against. At this point, you put yourself in a state of being his enemy. Hello? Are y'all with me? Y'all look like y'all have dead. I'm just trying to get an understanding even for myself to look at how did we get convinced that it's okay? He paying for this. He's paying for this. No matter, he already knows you're gonna sin. And they put you in a state of mind, tell you that it's okay. So when you do it, he paid for that too. He paid for that too. Go in the store, your parents don't buy you something. Go in there, pick up everything and walk out and say they paid for it. You going to jail. They say, I told you I was gonna pay for this and this. I'm not paying for that junk. I did not tell you go get whatever you want. And he ain't told you to do whatever you want. He's trying to pay for things that we've done before that now we come into mind saying, wow, man, I didn't realize what kind of state I was in. I'm sorry for that. Can I be forgiven? So I can move away. And now I got knowledge of it's not to repeat. But the problem with us, we keep repeating. So now you ask yourself, do you have the knowledge? Hello? That conviction and knowledge should keep us from we going back and committing the same act. Those people, they went through and some of no doubt were probably repentant. But at the end of the day, they didn't have the knowledge. And think about it, if they had it, then it would be no need for him to come and grant it to us. See, what he came and gave us is something we didn't have. Hello? He came and did for us. He said, nobody else could have done this for you. Don't think it could have been Jesus, it could have been anybody, it could have been Buddha. You're a liar, it could have only been one, it could be Yahushua. Right. It could have been nobody else different. Right. His name denote his action. Yeah. He saves. When they were told in the book, let's see something right quick. Matthew 1:22. Make it 1:21. I just be honest, I don't think people, I include me, hadn't given this man his fair due or the recognition for what this man did. And I know why, and I know for me, because you never really looked at it like that. God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, have everlasting life. God didn't send his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. That got it right there. If you can recite it, that's it. But you ain't got no understanding of what you're saying. You're trying to figure out why would he do, I mean, really, it's questionable in everything. What does it have to do with me? How did that involve me being saved? I'm being honest, because they teach you you're not supposed to ask, you're not supposed to question, it leaves you dumb. It just leaves you stupid because you really don't understand what happened. That's why people just come and they go and they don't consider. He told us in the book of your cause called, they come before me and they sit before me, ask, who was it? My people. And they hear my word. They hear it, and it's like a very lovely song. One can play well on the instrument. He said, they hear your word, but they do them not. Why you think somebody will hear it and not do it? Because I really don't understand the complexity of everything. I just know I was told when I was a little kid, they make her go, you're behind step, get your mind, wake up. And you keep fighting, they say, you're behind, ain't gonna play. Now you can't play when you get up. You ain't heard nothing, but I'm up, because I want to play later. Am I up because I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to grasp it? Or I'm up because now the punishment ain't gonna be able to go out and play. Right. So I'm thinking, man, I'm trying to get this thing right now because I don't want to die and burn. I want to play. Guess why we going to church or why we going to religious institutions? Because we want to play. It ain't because we're trying to learn, because we don't understand the magnitude of what's actually happening. Okay, let's see. Listen.
And she shall bring forth a Ben.
She might.
And she shall bring forth a Ben.
He told her, so I'm going to guess, oh boy, I sure hope it's a little girl. What's wrong with me? That's stupid. The man just told you what she gonna bring. Because Yashayahu already told you a son gonna be born.
Right.
Why you sitting here saying, oh, I hope this little girl, I want to put some cute little barrettes in her hair? That's stupid. The man just told you what he gonna bring for. This is gonna be consolation for people that's waiting. That she's going to bring forth a son. And?
Thou shalt call his Shem Yahushua.
Wow. Because that's cute. I just think I think that's I always want to name somebody Yahushua. Why?
For he shall save his arm from their Kataim.
Wow. So he convinced people and had a conversation with people about him saving people. What's your name? Yahushua. That's odd. Interesting. That you would have a name that denotes the action that you're going to perform. See how they get us off? You'll have a name that has nothing to do with your actions. When they would shim someone, name someone, because this is an attribute we're looking for the display. So they gave him a name. Look why. Because if you ask the question, why would his name be Yahushua? Because he's going to save his people from their sin. His name tell you he saves. Remember when they was on the ship and the storm came? Y'all remember that? And they cried, oh God, God in heaven, oh God. They woke him up. And you know what they told him? They said, we perished. Although they didn't call the name, what was the attribute of his name? He saves. It made sense to wake him up, didn't it? If we're about to die, let's get up. Who saves? If this is out of our control and we can't do it, let's get the one up that saves. And we got up. Shalom. And that was a calm. He saved. They were perishing. See that these are things, these were characteristics to solidify that man's position. And the reason why he hadn't been solidified in our life, because really we ain't really been interested. And we just want to hear one of them verses that make hair stand up on our arm, or some that make us feel all right when we're wrong, and some don't tell us we're going to burn forever. A lot of times we don't want the whole knowledge of information of what it takes. It's so mind-boggling, so much work, it's so much detail, and it ain't that important. And people look at things for an excuse. But for us, we look at, he's giving no excuse now. Because if we could come along and create the same acts they committed that were contrary, then he said, really, you made it an offense to me that you said that what I offered was not sufficient. He's saying that what I gave was sufficient. The ability you needed was the knowledge. He tried it with Shamshun, kill 1,000 men. Then he with a jawbone of ass and broke the beret. He said a razor shouldn't come on your head. And see that he shows you. He had the physical strength. He just didn't have the mental intellect. Because he fell in love. Isn't that right? Oh, man, everything went out the door. So it ain't just something that's just purely physical. Y'all got it? It's the knowledge. It's the knowledge. Even Shaul talked about, Shalom talked about how there was a city and it was overtaken. He was an old man and talking about his knowledge, how he delivered the city. You know, he said, realize that knowledge was more precious than weapons of war. He said that man, by his knowledge, delivered the city. And he weighed out. Typically, when a city was taken, what do you do to take a city back? Weapons. But then what you going to do in the 6th chapter of the book of Ephesians, he told her that the weapons are warfare, but mighty. See, that's how we pull them down. That's what Yahushua was battling in the 4th chapter. Let's see again the 4th chapter of the book of Matthew. See, a lot of stuff that we'll think, I guess it's too simplistic. We need something like, I need something I do like this and a brick bust out that wall. That show the power of Elohim. Versus, I got the knowledge of. I got the knowledge to go against. I had the information to keep me consistent, and people don't look at that. The people want to see some power. Make the light shut off. People always want you to do something, you know, extraordinary out of what they'll call superhuman. Versus people look at, you're superhuman if you can go without committing guitar, because the rest of these people can't do it.
Right. Yep.
Right? It's people, man, you got people who take, y'all say they'll have show people take a melt and you say, wow, that's superhuman. Say, look, I do this. That's why you can't bend this. I'm too busy living right.
That's right.
So he said, listen, I'd rather leave it straight. The reason he can bend it, because he always trying to get around something. For me, I said, I can leave it straight.
Yes, sir.
And all right, it don't keep me from doing what I got to do. That's superhuman right there.
That's right.
Y'all got it. But see, they get us on because everybody want to have something to mesmerize people. All he want to do is have a consistency. Let's finish seeing how he handled this. 4th chapter, this is the 5th chapter. Listen.
Then Satan took him up into the Kadash city and set him upon the pinnacle of the Mashakhan and said to him, If thou be the Ben of Elohim, cast thyself down, for it is Katab, that he hath given his Malachim charge over thee, and in their hands shall they bear thee up, lest perhaps thou dash thy regal against an Abban. Yahushua said to him, It is Katab again, that thou shalt not tempt Yahuwah thy Elohim. Again, Satan
Let me
took
ask a
him.
question. Y'all see how him and Satan locked up? Y'all see how they locked up and collided? And started falling down that rock, going at it? How he beat him? And we want weapons of war. We want a Holy Ghost bat. Ain't that right? Spirit, I want Holy Ghost bullets and guns. None of that stuff. That's showing you, he's showing you something. You talking about think about that. When Satan come and get you, he always wins. Whenever he comes at you, he wins. How did he beat this guy? You saw he made lightning come down from Shamaim and strike the devil and burn him up right there. Y'all saw that? No, sir. Y'all saw that how he commanded him coming out? I command Shamshun to come back and bound him for I could slap this nigga teeth out of his mouth. Y'all saw how he get out? Let me ask you a question. Y'all don't find that just real strange that this man is just going back and reciting written words that you're supposed to knowledge of, and he's defeating him. He's winning the war. And all you're doing is trying to get some spiritual workout that you make a fool out of yourself physically, saying this is what you're going to use to beat him with. It doesn't work. He's just using information. The same thing that Ka'ur was supposed to use in the gun. Use the information. Everybody keep waiting on some special power to come in. He just used the information properly. It was dispensed properly. Everything he could come with, he had an answer for. Why you think you give in? You don't have an answer. You don't have an answer. And guess what? That's how he got you. You don't have a logical answer. So why not do it? I can't think of no reason not to. See, that's the problem. He told you to find out what sort of things were hard, what sort of things a good report, what sort of things have virtue, if there be any talim. What he told you to do? Think on it. So the mind being stayed on it, well, how you gonna keep you in shalom? Mind got to stay on it. So what you think it mind? He was hungry. You hear him, what y'all think? Y'all think that thing wasn't growling? What they was saying? I can't growl, I'm Jesus' stomach. I gotta be hush and listen. That thing said, I don't care what your name is. I'm growling, I'm hungry. Yeah, he still had to stay with the discipline of the mind. Still had to stay with the discipline of information. Now, all this stuff, did he get some Holy Ghost food put in his belly? That book told you after a while, that man was hungry. He was, 40 days, was he hungry or was he starving? That nigga ready to eat wood chips. That's how we always get so hungry. I don't care what, I need something before I die. Yet, mine's still restricted with, I have to comply. Regardless, when the devil comes with Satan, not the devil, when the Satan comes, information is how you beat him. You have to understand the information. You got to be able to display the information. You yourself have to amend the information. Because let's be practical. He had the ability, he could do this. But this would go against what he told me simply because I'm giving place to you. I'm acknowledging you and doing what you asked me to do, and you are an offense to this man. You are this man's enemy. How we listen to people that's enemy to this man? Mm-hmm. Family members, other people we listen to. How we listen to they're enemy. And I know you don't want to see your family like that. You don't want to see it. That's why we stay hooked up so much. Because we don't look at you're an enemy. The way you see your family, the way you see people, he don't see them that way. He see them as an enemy. Oh, God. How you tell your mama she's an enemy? How you tell your daddy that? How you tell your wife or husband they're an enemy? Because you love them. The man said you're an enemy. How many of y'all love y'all enemies? How many of y'all love y'all? How many of y'all got enemies? How many of y'all love them? You ain't gonna believe it. Y'all ain't gonna believe it. He got enemies. Why you think he love them? That's why he gonna come back and repay them to their face. That's why he ain't gonna have no problem with putting them down in Sheol. Now you gotta consider what side you're on and where you at. And that's something y'all wanna hear? That's something y'all need to know. As they continue to go, It make us where we had to start serving tide with people. We do. We have to start serving tide. If he view you as an enemy and I ain't his enemy, what side am I on? Oh, that's tight. That's tight. He views you as an enemy. He views you as an enemy, but you ain't my enemy. What am I saying? I'm saying that I'm friends with the world. I'm saying that how he views something ain't the way I view it and how I see it. That's dangerous. So now we had to start looking at changing how we do things and how we process things. Because in our minds, we think it's not a hurt and it's really a detriment to us. Let's get the 5th chapter right quick and I'll try to get y'all through. Most High willing and get y'all finished. Y'all might get out here a little early. Back to the 5th chapter right quick of the book of Romans. A little slower than what y'all want to hear, but you better make sure where you at. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all now. All right, we read this one, then we read 10. For if when we were enemies, we were reconciled to Elohim by the moot of his being. That's how critical your sin is. Somebody had to die. There wasn't no way around that. You still had to die. That's the law.
Yeah.
So if people saying the law done, why you still dying now? If the law done away with, why you still dying? Shouldn't be no more death. He took it away. You still dying because that's the law. Come on. 11.
And not only so, but also we kabod in Elohim through our Adon Yahushua HaMashiach, by whom we have now received reconciliation.
That's right. That's how we got it, through him. Come on.
Wherefore,
Hold on, can we see what reconciliation means? Most High willing, the people watching in doing better than what y'all got going on. The restoration of friendly relationships. Y'all see that? So that, it amazing that you the actions of making one view or belief compatible with another. That's a financial account. We need to reconcile that too. Get these financial accounts taken care of too. But no, we don't. So we're looking at trying to put us back in more of friendly relations, or what we're trying to look at reuniting. All right, that's what we're looking at, what he came to do to us. Because we're talking about being in a state of enemies, now we're talking about putting us back into a friendlier state. Okay? That's what we were. We were outside. He came to do something for us that we couldn't do. He come in reconciliation, putting us back in a more friendlier state. Listen. 12.
wherefore, as by one each, Qatar entered into this Olam, and by Qatar Moot.
See that? What happened?
And so Moot passed upon all Anashim, in whom all have Qatar.
Y'all see that? So you need to understand that. I asked y'all earlier about how did we wind up getting to a state of being enemies. It's because of one man. Because one man offense, sin entered into the Olam. And when it came into the world, then the offense came, or the sentence came, that death had to be implemented. So at that point, everybody that committed it, you had to die. Hello? So if you understand how things happen, then you know how to proceed from that point forward, right? Hello? Listen, I ain't trying to force nothing on y'all. That's on you now. I tell you, listen, for y'all, you the violator. You the enemy of the man. All the man gonna do is come out when he's gonna kill you, just burn you forever. So it's really not that serious. You're not in the state with the man that you think. The man told you, you are my friend. That was reconciliation. Putting you back into a friendly relationship. So if I'm not doing what he said, what am I? Come on, the man tell you. So you're not doing what the man told you, what are you? That's all we're trying to understand. If you need to understand, where are you people? And everybody knows where they are. Watching in here, you know where you at. Don't you know this is a chance for you to fix your relation with this man? Come on. Listen.
For until the Torah,
root word till. For till the Torah,
Qatar was in the Olam.
See that? Till, that's when they got him. When the law came. Listen.
But Qatar was not imputed when the Torah was not.
Now that's what you're gonna look at. When did they get the Torah? Oh, we're gonna talk. No, I'll take it. Go ahead. When they get the Torah? I don't know how you not. If that's the case, then if we're going to take it another way. We're going to say that sin didn't enter into the Olam until they came out of Mizraim. Because that's when they got it written. That's when they got it scripted. But I don't know how people going to holler the law didn't come into then. Because He just told you about one man offense. That was when Adam was him, which means the Torah was him. All Torah is instruct. See, people got to get their mouth. The law is thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. The law, whenever I tell you not to do something. When he put people, it made sense to tell everybody what to do. Listen, when he told the ox when he got here, he said, be fruitful and multiply. Guess what if they don't multiply? Guess what happened? That's a violation. Why do you think he said he's going to cut them down? Everybody got Torah. I don't know where these people getting this stuff from. Everybody has Torah. What you do when you come in and you see a dead tree in your yard? Why are you cutting it down? It can't do what it's supposed to do. Cut it down. Well, he's trying to show you. Listen, I gave commandments to everything. There's nothing that doesn't have a mark. I gave instruction. I gave direction. So when it's not doing it, I come against it. I don't know where people getting this stuff from. What was he doing? He told the grass to come forth. Everything he said, and yielding seed. You got to also give up a seed. I ain't trying to do it. I ain't trying to have my belly swole up a blade of grass. I just said, okay, then I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna cut you off because everybody got instructions. Everybody got directions. Everybody got law that governs them. So I don't know why people thinking the law didn't come in until when they was up on Mount Sinai. That's stupid. How did sin enter? He just told you one man. That's Adam. He said that's how I got him. Because I gave him instructions and the man didn't do them. You got instructions, you don't do them. What do you think this is? So let's go back to Adam. At this point, you become an enemy. And he said, I told him that your seed is going to be a mutual hatred. That's why he would always refer back to them being like their fathers. In the 8th chapter of the book of Yochanan, he told you that you are of your father. Who was that again? Satan. And? That's right, the lust, those strong desires. He said that's what you'll do. He told you that he will commit murder in Barashit. And said he won't stay in their mouth. He said because it's none in him. So he just told you that you were like him, then he told you about him. What did he just say about you? Why y'all think they gave him up for death? Did he tell them they was a murderer? Okay, all right, that's bad. Who did Cain slay? He slayed his brother. Yahushua was our brother. In the book, he said, for this call, he's not ashamed to call them our king. So he put you right back and told you just like him. And that you will not stay in the Amat. He told you why. He said, because there's none in you. He said, when you tell a lie, that's your lie. If he tell a lie, it's his own lie. Because he's the father of it. So we need to understand that. So for till the Torah, sin was but sin was not imputed when the Torah was. That's right. That's why these folks want to go now, have these shows where mothers go back and date their sons. Because, listen, it's biblical. That's what people do. I mean, like, let's get it from the Bible. Y'all, they got a show now. This is going to be one of the hottest shows. Women on a date, and they get to choose their sons for their date. I don't know what, yeah, true show. Y'all ain't heard about it? They says taking head away. Think about women up here a day, and the men they get to choose from, they get to choose their son too. Some son back there, man, I hope my mama choose me. I don't know what y'all doing. What y'all, listen, this been in the hearts of people. This ain't new. Why he brought us out of Mizraim? Why you think he told? He said, you should not do this. Let me tell you something, okay? First of all, this is a practice that happened, okay? That's the first thing to be practiced. It's a practice that happened, okay? And he came along and he disciplined man with laws to make man turn away from it. He put a law imputed. Think about it. What changed? Your penis went away? A Torah came in and taught you, you can't do this, you'll die. See, that's how information. That's why we did. In Mizraim, we did it. Why did we do it? No Torah. We ain't had nobody had no law. You're exactly right. How am I do this? Ain't nobody told me it was wrong. He said, no, blah. He said, it's wrong. He says, wrong. You ain't gonna do that. You're not gonna do other similar things you were doing. This gonna be your wisdom in the sight of. Some people say, man, what's wrong, man? You go and ask your sister. Go. I said, no, we don't do that. Why? Man, we've been instructed not to do that. They said, hold on, everybody else doing it. Why you ain't doing it? He said, that's your wisdom in the sight of the nations. In the sight of the other Goyim, when they see you, they're gonna realize that this is a people that I've separated. I separated you from other people. And when other people come to you, they're gonna have to maintain the same rituals. Man come up with this sister they married, say, you can't be among us with it. You can't be married to your sister. He said, huh? You're going to divorce your sister. Y'all can't do that. See that? It's only the information, people. People say, well, people had information. Well, then he's coming on getting information, letting you understand how your life is attached to the Torah to where it comes into such a strong violation that you're going to die. And if you, the book said, he that will ahab kai and would see good days. Let him, that's right, and that's right. And let him forsake it. He talked about him ensuing it. He gonna be in pursuit to it. See, we gotta be in pursuit. That's what they were doing. Why you think they were looking for Yahushua? They was in pursuit for it. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta have your mind set on. If you want, listen, this is not as complicated as people made it. We just never had a chance to look at it the way he actually prescribed and look at everything you have to do. You looking for some power to come in. The power that comes in is you gotta look at if you really care about living and you ain't trying to die the more horrific death, which is dying the second time and never living again. That's more horrific than choking, burning, because that can only happen. How long can I drown? 4 days? Can't drown with one. Matter of minutes, you out of here. Same thing with burn. You ain't gonna burn in a natural fire for no days and weeks. I mean, the fire might burn, but your life already been consumed and gone. Typically, smoke will choke you out just about before the flames get to you. But if you just happen to got in it, but you talking about when that man come back here, the most horrific death is you gonna go in that thing and you gonna stay alive and you gonna burn. So now you gotta consider the things that you do, is it worth it? Is it worth you burning and being alive? That's all it is. It's all the choice. What you want to do. Is it worth burning and being alive? It ain't gonna be a lot of your benefit. It's gonna be a lot of it's gonna be around to your fall. So for until the Torah, sin was not in the world, but sin, Qatar, was not imputed when the Torah was not. Listen, let's see what he told you.
But Moot reigned,
rather death.
Reigned from Adam unto Mushah.
So you know what that means? That means when Mushah died, death stopped. If that's your thinking, then you're really dumb. The Torah. He's talking about the Torah. Even after Mushah died, the Torah is still imputed. That's why I told you, a man that does these things, he's going to live by him, which also meant you're going to die by him. So that's what he told you. The whole complete time from Adam being here and Mushah coming on the scene and implementing those Torah, and those instructions, those directions, guess what he said? He said, death been reigning over us, which means who has the power? Sin. So the purpose of Yahushua coming and the mimic being as Shamshun, he was coming to try to break the yoke off us. Remember everything they tried to put on him, nothing could hold him. That's what we need to know with Yahushua. See, Shamshun delivered, he actually delivered Yehuda. Yehuda was under the rule of the Philistines. So when they took Shamshun and stripped him, and when they tied him up and they brought him out and made mockery with him, and he wound up calling on Yahuwah, and Yahuwah gave him the strength that he could kill him. And he told you, he said, because they reigned over him. See, when Yahushua came out, the book told you he made a show of them openly. He made a spectacle of them. So when they put him up on the tooth, that's what they did when they brought Shamshun. They were thinking, man, we finna have some fun today. We finna bring this man out, we finna clown this nigga him. We finna make him look like a fool. And they realized when they brought him out, all he do was tore down what had reigned over us. It wasn't the Roman, it was sin. You missed it though, didn't you? You missed it. The book told you in the book of Colossians, the 2nd chapter, he said he made a show of them openly. That's why they had everybody out there. People need to see. He made a show of them. Because now, we used to, at one time, we didn't have the power, the knowledge. So the lack of knowledge is why we kept falling into protocol and we kept falling into violation. So now, since he came to give us an understanding, now we have the power, the knowledge, to be able to resist it before you couldn't resist it. Hello? It was the knowledge. We needed the knowledge. We needed to understand it. It was complexity. It was perplexity for us. So it's a lot of things we couldn't put together that actually didn't register for us. But now we're coming to understand the purpose of why he did it by going back and looking at all of the events before, looking at what we said, the archetypes that were set before him. And now we come back and say, actually, he was the archetype. They were the archetypal because they were actually mimicking him. He came first. And the reason why you missed it, and he had to show it through natural. You know how he showed it to you? Say it to him like, as an ish, and he used some events to do that. Hands. Put it inside, I tell you what, put it in the thread. I just said, we'll make this question be for all tomorrow. It don't matter what else they get right. You get this one right here right. He showed it to us physically, naturally. Aku, don't try it, Linda. You can put on that Aku thread. They gonna put me, let me see it. Who knows? Is it, now would I ask y'all something y'all ain't been taught? No. So y'all already been taught. It wouldn't make sense to ask y'all something y'all ain't been taught. You wanna answer the question? The question was, I said, in actuality, he was the archetype. He was the one to be mimicked, to be followed. Because of position, you might have missed it. But you were taught it. He left some things in place that you would recognize that and you would understand it. Without giving the answer, that's about as much as I can give you. How many of y'all already know the answer? That's real clear, real smooth, Chris. Chris did like this. Now, who we got? Who think? Oh, y'all already got the answer. All right, just save it then. Just help, put it in the thread. Hold on. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, wait. Oh, some way. Well, we don't get a time period to put it in there because folks will try to steal. Well, the first one got it in there, that's what we're going to go with. How about that? That's tight, ain't it? All right, I guess they ain't on it then. Listen, it's to your benefit to understand. It's to my benefit to understand. If you want to stop crying and failing and saying you ain't going to make it, you ain't going to do it, it's only because you lack some things. And then you got to get some discipline. That being honest, discipline. And listen, anybody can do those things. The knowledge and the will to live is what you're going to use to be your resistance. Just think about it. When you do it, you can send to your own death. Just like Ali. You saw how he argued when he was told that he was going to cut him down in his house? Well, I wonder why. Because he knew that was part of the agreement. That he was going to stand before him and he was going to always minister before Yahuwah, but he also let him know if he violated what was going to happen. Now, let me get this straight. You were good with you always standing before me, offering before me, and always being acknowledged. But you ain't good with, I'm going to cut you off and I'm going to cut your house off, and that's where it's going to end at. How that work? Because you come in here doing the job every day. But you don't want to take none of the part of what, if you violate what happened, you just want the part where, as long as I keep coming. He said, but if you're doing it in error, if you don't do some things you're supposed to do, then you got to get the repercussions of it. That's why he ain't fight it. It didn't make sense. Why am I fight it? What am I say? He ain't right? He ain't fair? That don't make no sense? It don't make no sense. You shouldn't have took the job. He has gotten a bad rap. He's gotten a bad rap. And a lot of people have stood to really show it ain't been him none of the time. It's always been us. It's been us. And I just like when Una was sitting up on the ship and everything went crazy, he ain't looking around that time. I know y'all niggas ain't living right. Before I put some on myself, I need to check y'all niggas. Where'd you go to church at? Who your pastor? He nothing. He saw this. He said, false in me. This stuff been talking about. He already knew. The man told me to do something. He ain't looking around talking about, I believe it's y'all niggas. It ain't me. One of y'all niggas stink. He already knew it was false in me. False in me. And you can do that when you got information. When you don't, you can sit around and lie to yourself, and you still ain't going to get out the judgment. The book done told you you're inexcusable, whoever you are. You think you're going to escape the Mashpat Elohim? You inexcusable. How you got an excuse now when the man told you inexcusable? Then I got to make sure I get it right so I can stop doing what I used to do, making an excuse. Do we have an answer? Answer already been in there. Who put the first answer in there? Darren put the first one in there. So we're going to count down the first right answer. And no matter, let me see. So somebody can copy. Who got their phone? I'm just curious what the answer is. Let's see what the answer is. How many answers in there? 5 answers. So, it's one of them. What is it?
We're not doing this.
Why did Bryce hate Dad? What? What else is hey dad? I'm proud of you. What? That's sick. That man's sick. So no right answers. Do y'all not remember the question? What was the question, Jared? What did you understand the question to be? I'm curious. Can I see your face? Okay. What did you understand the question to be, Ryan? You didn't? Okay. What I did and what I said, we were going through, and I taught y'all the word. Archetype. Who remember what archetype was? What was archetype? Replica of the original. Archetype. Archetype is the original. Y'all looked it up. Archetypal is when you're looking at something that mimics or imitates, okay? I said he's actually the archetype. Do y'all not remember me saying that? I said not the archetypal, okay? So when I said that, I said he left some things in place to get you to understand how. I said he left some things, symbolism, that you can understand how he was actually first. And all y'all had to do was go back to the two births. You had Asu, you had Yaakov. All these people came at you. Had Phares and you had his Op. What happened here? One stuck his hand out first and drew it back. He had a red string on it, and his Op came out first. But his Op was actually last. That's how you understood that the last was going to be first, and the first was going to be last. That's how you understood it, because it makes no sense. How could I come in first and they say I'm in last place? Naturally. Me and him, Ray, come on, Barbara, we're going to run it right here. We're just going to run it right here. Come on. All right? Me and you going to come in here. Come on. You first. Come on. He actually last. You actually last. You know, I know it's confusing because he won, he first, but he actually last. All right, because I already been here before him. So how we understood it was he put two twins, two boys in the same belly. He let one stick a hand out, but he drew it back and she tied something on it. The second one came out before him. And she looked and she said, there was a breach. A breach is a break. Y'all got it? So there was a breach at that point because she's trying to figure, I tied a scarlet ring of rope on the one that was first. But the one that was last came out first. So when Yahuwah told her that was going to be first, going to be last, and last going to be first, the only way we can understand it was through Phares and Zara's birth. Y'all got it? That the elder came out last, but he was actually first. When he showed you the hand, that's how Elohim worked, by his hand. How y'all think he used his hand that he called Yahushua? Which means he was first. Adam was last, but that's who you saw. That's good. So it's really going to be impossible for him to be the archetypal, that he's going to be a replica when he actually is the archetype. You're going to say, well, they didn't follow the pattern here. That don't change the fact he was archetype. If I make something and it's the pattern and people don't follow, does that change what it is? Okay, he was archetype. Y'all got it? Who you supposed to follow now? Adam or Yahushua? He's the archetype. Y'all got it? So I'm trying to get you to understand process and how things work. I think if we kind of clue into some things, we'll see things a little different. Think about it. How many of y'all heard that years ago when first gonna be last, last gonna be first? How many of y'all understood that? Really, you just take it for what he said, unless you get something that actually demonstrated. You say, oh, okay, you just gonna change. No, I ain't changing. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. And the fact that he stuck the hand out. That's how we look at the yard. The yard is the hand. The hand is how you work. When Yahuwah told you, he said, I create all things. Y'all got it? So we really recognize Yahushua as his hand. Because he said, I made all things. Let me see, in the book of Yuchanan 1:1, in the beginning, Barashit, what was it? The Debar, and the Debar was with him, and the Debar was, the same was in Barashit with him. All things were what? So now we look at the hand. We're going back to the hand. That's part, he stuck the hand out. Showing that's how I work. Even in the book of Ehud, he told you on the right hand, what he do? He hid himself. On the left hand, He does his work. He's showing you with the hand, demonstrate the hand. That's what we understood when we had the hand, the yard. That's what we look at. The hand is how we work. So when you look at our alphabet, it's symbolism. And it was things that they were accustomed to, they knew. That's why they process things different than we do. That's not how we do things now. Y'all got it. We use a lawnmower to cut grass. We use other tools. So when we look at that, it looks so antiquated to us. Outdated. It's not something we do. But it made sense because the way he gave it to them, it was something they use in their everyday life. How many of us use an olive in our everyday life? When last time you used an olive? What about a zen? So that's some things you don't use. That's what they used to cut. We use scissors. Box cut. So a lot of things for us, but these people looked at it, and when they used it a lot of times, it was used in the separate. When they went in the field, they went to take someone, you take it so you can separate. You can cut it. Y'all got it? So they understood how quick thing. He told you let me see, the bar Elohim, what was it? Quick and sharper than a nail gun. What do they know about a nail gun? They know about a sword. You sharpen it so it can be quick and it can get right to where it needs to go. So they understood. He said, you understand how to use it because these are weapons that they use. And they understood it was going to be needed to keep them sharp. What about a dull knife? How quick does it cut? But a sharp knife, it don't take nothing. He said, ooh, that thing's sharp. He said, the word is sharper than that. It's sharper than that. You ever had a knife so sharp that thing cut you. You said, man, you know that thing cut me. He said, the word is sharper than that. You're saying, wow. Because now you got something you can measure against. See, the things they had were things they could measure against. Now you're trying to get an understanding about Elohim. You have nothing to measure with. So therefore, I have no real idea what he's talking about. I'm basically got to come up with something in my mind and try to fantasize. But for them, these were things they used every day. If they out here, they could see the olive. They could see that one lead, the other one. The olive can lead. And guess who the olive can lead? Who? Houses? He can lead other olives. And you ain't gonna believe what Elohim would lead. Other Elohims. I think in the 80th chapter, sort of 82 chapter book of Tahalim, he said Elohim said it in the congregation, other Elohims. So it's not impossible. He said, I called you Elohims. And you being led by Elohim. So we knew that the olive could lead. The elder lead the younger. Okay. To understand Yahushua coming on the scene, him being somebody we look at Ancient of Days in age, yet he came along and he served up. He told us that the elder gonna serve the younger. And we couldn't understand that until we seen the act that Asu he was gonna have to serve you cold. It made no sense. You're like, why would the elder serve it don't make sense. Then he came along, he showed us how it actually happened. So when Yahushua came on the scene, that man told you, he said, who is greater that said, he that sit at me or him that served? They're like, the one that sit at me. He said, I came to you as a bond. They were trying to figure out, you serving us? What would that make him when your law told you that the elder gonna serve the younger? And people look at that man in his 30s. He's serving some people that's older than him, maybe in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and I'm trying to figure out, this is out of order. First of all, I'm older than you. I should be serving you. Little do you know, I'm actually older than you. You need to look at my hand. Why do you think when he appeared, he showed him his hands? That's how she knew who the elder was. She knew who had the red string. She knew who had the mark. She already knew. That's the elder. Years ago, like back then, you had to get socks and stuff like that. You put on till you learn to. When you first got, when you got identicals, it's stuff you got to do till you start learning little things about that differentiate them. You got what I'm saying? It might be the eye, it might be a unibrow, it might be something that you watch that you notice about them. Then you know how to do the socks where you know who is who or what is what. Like some of y'all still put left and right on your sock. They don't know either sock go either foot. But I know some folks, you know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised for home. Oh man, I put my left sock on my right foot. Yeah, just keep practicing, you'll get it straight. But for them, so now with him, that's what we did. It had to be something that differentiated him. So we didn't mix him up with Adam. They look similar. Hello? Because he stuck his hand out first. Hello? Symbolism to show he did it, all this was created. That's what he was trying to tell you. I'm the elder. Why do you think he was trying to tell you about all this stuff when he worked? Because you saw Adam and you naturally assumed that he was the elder brother. Hello? Is it making sense to y'all? Y'all look mighty dead. If you're trying to live, it's not going to make, if you don't understand it, I'm telling you, you're going to continue to violate. And it's not going to help you, it's going to hurt you. He actually came to give us enough understanding to realize a lot of your problem is you're not comparing this thing, you don't have the right comparison to it. And you haven't really sat down and see, I never gave you a reason to sit around and keep committing qatar. I don't know who gave you this, who told you this? Even in, what is the 5th chapter of the book of Galatians 5 and 7, he said, you did run well. Who did hinder you? You should not, was Aman, the Amat? Well, obey Shama here with the intent to do. He said, this persuasion didn't come from him that called you. He said it didn't come from him that called you. And we got a whole book called He Called, right? He called, Uyakra, and he called. So we can go back when he said this persuasion coming not of him that called you. When I go back and read, that's the dietary law. That's the law of whether I'm supposed to lay with another woman or man. That's the law about sleeping with a woman while she's in her menstrual. So when I do it, man, listen, man, you sleep with a woman while she's in her menstrual. He said, you were running well. Who persuaded you? He said it didn't come from him, that Yakra, telling you to go back and look at the book. Look at the scroll. The scroll never told you that. But see, we New Testament Christians, now that stuff don't count. Who told you this? Why y'all think we've been in violation? Because we're listening to other people trying to tell us about. He said the fear of me is taught by the precept of men. People have given you a precept about him that it's okay. He's not going to hold this against you. People have told you kazal. Don't worry about it. Y'all ain't there. Don't worry about it. I ain't going to push it. I'm not going to push it. At the end of the day, this is where we at. I'm going to get ready to let y'all go for real. This is your life. You make your own decision. You got to be good with what you do. I'm not good with it, okay? Changes have to be made. We all got to start sitting back and consider, right, where you really trying to go. I mean that wholeheartedly. Where you trying to go? All y'all ain't going to make it. There's no one to be able to keep all of y'all. It's not possible because I don't see y'all actually register in and get to realize we done made a lot of bad mistakes. And we made it because how we process things, because how we saw things. I would like to believe that he's not going to hold everything against me. I would like to believe that, but that's not true. I would like to believe that he's paid for me to continue to go through, and every time I get something wrong, don't worry about it because he paid for it. That's not true. That's not true because it's going to come up to two issues of why I'm doing it. Either you don't know, and that's dangerous because I can't give you knowledge, or you willfully doing it. Now, which one I'm going to tell them I'm doing? Because both of them bad news. And with that on the table, I just don't see all this time to keep fooling around. These are my two choices, and neither one of these choices get me out, I don't see how we can keep going. He's adamant that the word, the bar, has so much life to it that it can keep a man. He actually believes that, and you ain't gonna believe it. I'm just stupid enough to admit it too. That when that information is dispersed correctly and a person actually takes it in honestly with the intent of they desire to do it, that's it. It's the word. What did Abraham have? Did Abraham have the Holy Ghost? Abraham had the word. And you can believe it, he called Abraham a friend. Then he came along and said, I was his friend if I do whatever he commanded me. So what is my idea of Abraham? Because think about it, how many of y'all heard he said Abraham was a friend to Elohim? How many of y'all heard that before? How do you understand that? Huh? I didn't never take it he did what he told. Now, I've learned that later. When I first heard it, I just figured they were friends. Like I said, they friends. And then he came and he said, you my friend if you do whatever I command you. That tell me, so Abraham committed sin? He said, Abraham said, I don't find where he ever said he broke away from Abraham. I don't ever find he said, you know what? I forsook Abraham. You never find that writing. So how was Abraham able to keep it without this Holy Ghost everybody running around got to get? Information. The man said he was my friend. We never understood how in-depth that was. But Yahushua come on and told me now that I'm his friend if I do whatever he could. What that mean, whatever? Anything that I like, anything that don't put me out, anything that don't be too difficult. Cause like, I take your son and offer your only son. I don't like that. He said, whatever I command you, whatever I command you. You understand where this man was? How is it we have all this education, dictionary, etymology, and we this stupid? How we this dumb? When Abraham did everything this man told him. You good? You should be in heaven in the next 2-3 minutes. That's how far off we are. The way of y'all synagogue, we're in violation. These people had a whole lot better understanding we had. This man had a family, just like we have. This man had a wife. This man had kids and everything else. And that man did exactly what Elohim had him to do. He had a heart for his son too. And it broke his heart. It broke him to get ready to put him out. And Elohim told him, and don't let it grieve you. That's an extra. He said, don't let the thing, ain't no, don't, suck it up. How many of y'all got them whooping they told you, start crying, right now? Shut it up now. How much time you had? I don't know, Judge, you ever got whooped? Did your parents ever tell you that? Shut it up now. Stop. Yeah. Boy, let me tell you something. You need a black mama. They don't know how, listen, black people logic make no sense. Listen, they beat the piss out you and tell you, shut it up now. That's it. Hey, go in the room, you hear that, let them hear that. When they come to that door, I better hear it again. The logic, how many of y'all know about that? Look at their hand. But they beat the brace off you, and I don't know how that works. Stop it now. He told that man, don't let it grieve him. That's tight. Because that thing hurting him too. I got to get rid of my son. This out of nowhere too. Don't let it grieve you. Got to end that. That's emotion. You a human. How you shut your emotion like that? How you not let that way? Like, every now and then, I can see him out there. He just break down crying. What wrong? My boy gone. Can you imagine he had to put that stuff out of his mind? And think about that. When he tells you, don't let it grieve you. Yahushua told you, don't let your Lord be troubled. He said, you're a man Elohim, a man also in me. So what that mean when you be sitting around and your heart be troubled? What that mean? What that mean? Who been teaching y'all? I'm just saying, what that mean when he said, don't let your Lord be troubled? That's probably the same thing with like Abraham. It's probably different. New Testament, Old Testament. Do y'all understand what we got to get? Do y'all understand what we got to get? Honestly, it's things that we people, we humans. How you do that? How you cut off emotions? How you cut off? How you do? You got to be a stickler for the Torah, His direction, His information, His way just better. Look at everybody else's way. We don't all listen. The people that run the world, these people have education. This is what all are striving for. These people not broke. No, not one of these people, world leaders, sitting around with $5 in their pocket to their name. Y'all believe that? There's world leaders sitting around with $5 to their name. They need to borrow some money. They can't pay their bills. Y'all believe that? World leaders. Y'all believe there's any of them that got in? They all straight. We the people suffering. We done set in the hands of these people done showed them with all the knowledge, with all the money, with all the guns, with all the weapons, they can't fix nothing. Answer everything. More police, more police, more police. More problem, more problem, more problem. People don't need more policing. People need to get right. Everything they keep coming on, education. We got kids. I ain't just about to get anyone little baby my cell phone and they can unlock it. And go to screen and go there. Tell them, say, you know who you are? Huh? They can go YouTube, watch video, cartoon, all this stuff. We got to look at them man showing up. All this stuff they push us to early education. Start them early. Start them read books to them in the bed. Look where the world at. Our kids are the people killing us. We are afraid of our own kids. So everything they'll push us upon and pushed on us, telling us we're going to make it better. We educate the kid, get more education. The school system's right. It's just right. I think what Gavin tell me, his teacher finna quit. He done had it. I said, quit where? He said they cussing him out. He tired of them cussing him out. how we getting it? This one I don't get. Why the teachers having protest and walked out the school? This is easy fix. I can help the whole thing. All the teachers walk out, let them go home. The parents gonna get fired. When they get fired and they all homeless, then they'll want to say, what you need my kid to do? We can stop that fool. There's no reason we should be sitting on school. I saw that over friend in Chicago, a little kid, let me tell you something. I knocked all that teeth out of him. I told them, folks, now I'm finna go to jail. Then the rest of them, I can't come back in the class no more like this. We ain't gonna be able to operate like this. We not finna have it. See, this one you don't play too much. You don't let them have too much. You don't give them too much time. This not hard. This how we gonna do this. You gonna get rid of them. We don't never see them again. I'm gone. Ain't but so many substitutes gonna put up that food. If all the teachers walk out, when them folk go there, they can't go to work because they gotta keep them kids. I assure you, them behind getting beat. Them behind gonna come to school and sit down. That's it. I'm not finna sit in no school with no kid got. He can bring a gun. I can't have one. We ain't doing it. That's crazy. I'm not even sitting in no school. That's retarded. Why I'm sitting in school and kids got guns? What am I coming? They got guns. I watch video. Folks in jail got guns. They shooting video. What? I'm unarmed. What am I gonna go tell these guys? They have guns in the cells? No. Don't open the cell up. Let them die. I won't feed them. Why am I going to a cell they got a gun? I ain't got nothing. What I like walking in this cell? What I'm finna tell you? That's retarded. You gonna die right there in that cell. I'm gonna shoot everybody. You gonna die anyway. We ain't open the door. You dead anyway. I'll start that battle. I'll never let them. I'll let them die right there in that cell. Man, ain't gonna play no. That's stupid. How you let guns get inside the jail and let them shoot video with in the, what are you finna do with somebody with guns in the cell? They already I forgot, lock them up. They're already in jail. I just never seen so much stupid stuff in my life. This is what the word that show you the whole system corrupt. How hard it is? You can run in here with a riot team any other time, shut down game fight. How you letting these folks sit in jail with a gun? How you whole system right? We need to tear the whole system down and rebuild it. There's no way to get a gun inside a prison except through the guards. Ain't no woman can bring no gun in her. If she got a vagina going that gun, don't you try to put no pickle in there. That girl put a 357 with a 10-inch barrel out of that thing. Boy, don't you go back up in there. Leave that girl alone, boy. Boy, you ain't touching that. You just leave it alone. That must say me jump up and touch that ceiling. Boy, you ain't touching that. You might leave that alone. And I remember one time I was locked up, they had a sister coming in, and he was the talk of the town then. That joker had snuck, it was 2 packs of cigarette and a Snicker. He had it behind, and they said when he bent up. Yeah, he had 2 packs of cigarette and a Snicker. I wasn't smoking, and they didn't want no candle. I don't know what they did to that boy. There's some folks out there, boy. 2 packs of cigarette and a Snicker. They said one ain't been up, pack was still straight. Listen, that's where the world at. My word to all y'all, don't smoke and stop eating that candy. Please don't smoke. You don't know that they took them back to the store and they still sitting on the shelf. Tell me, ain't that one got a little brown something on it? All right now, that's that pack. You know he ain't the first one and the last one either. I'm just telling y'all the truth. It's time for us to really sit down and take inventory and get it right. That's what I want us to do. Please take inventory of your life, where you're at, and how serious you are about your salvation. Please don't play around in here and mess around and you wind up dying. And it be too late for you because it's coming on us. Some of our people already passed from here that was here before, and information increasing as we continue to go. And we got to go with where we at, and if we get it, we got to move in it. And you can mess around, and that man can let you move. As soon as you go, information just open up and become real crucial. I mean, really information being missing and solve a lot of mystery that people have with your hidden truth on your move. So you better make sure you're honest and serious about getting it. You'll be the holdup. You'll be the holdback. He just keep you here just long enough till he get rid of you or he wind up taking you out and move. But I know one, no matter whichever way, we got to get serious about making sure we get this right. Y'all got it? That's two. No, boy, don't go out that high. What was Matthew? 21? One and 21. Come on, man. Which one? Oh, we answered. It was at Barbara Sheep. Regarding to when we became his enemy. Well, I was trying to get the situation where it happened at. When he told Ka'ur and them how he was gonna put a mutual enmity between us. Yahushua. What y'all put in there? Who got that? Who put that? What was the answer? Somebody calls it a divide. Oh, saying Yahushua. Oh, no. We're talking about Qatar. When he talked about how when we were enemies, how he came and reconciled, saying when the estate came. So Bosh done put the right answer. Who put it in? Who got the right answer? You confused? Oh, yeah, we know what happened. Sin. So we're trying to... By Adam and Kua. So what did y'all put in the answer? Did they put an answer in there for that? Did anybody put an answer in there? That's tight. No answer. Nobody didn't answer. That's tight. I mean, you could put that, I'll take it. Did I? I was trying to look at the event when it happened. He put serpent. He didn't put it. Yeah, I take that. That's it. I mean, that's still putting an event. So, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted them to see, and you're right, that's still tied an event of what happened. I was trying to get us to look at when it was implemented, and then you kind of look at how. And it was only implemented because they didn't do what he told them. So now you got to look at when you don't do what he tell you, you become an enemy. Got it? And that's the thing that we try to be conscious of. Once we understand what our state is, before and after, then we know how to proceed after that. You know what I'm saying? Whether to continue or to make changes. That's the goal, make changes. I don't know about y'all, but that song considered daily. Daily, Layla, whenever, I'm thinking about that, you know. My palau is, honestly, that if it's something I'm doing, I don't want him to just forgive me for it. I want to know what it is so I know what not to do again. Because just say you can forgive me for it. If I don't know what it is, I'm going to go back and repeat it again. So if I know what it is, now I know, okay, that's Qatar. So don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm no longer a violator. I'm a keeper of the Torah, which means I regard it. You know, that's all I keep it in mind. How you keep the law, and that it just meaning that you observe it. You know what I'm saying? I maintain to make sure it's not broken on my end. If somebody breaking the Torah, it ain't me. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're gonna look at keep. People play word. Guy can't run. You can't keep the law. All that, like, just shut up. Whatever. I'm an observer of it to the point that I'm not a violator. I don't be a violator of it. Got it? And that's what we're trying to make sure of. All right, what you done? Deuce? So now we're gonna look at making sure we stay on top of what we gotta do and get this thing right. For any of y'all looking at self-examination, making sure you understand what you gotta do and understand. Did it help some with understanding that you're an enemy when you do it? So now it's a choice. So now when you go do it, now you get into, I willfully want to be an enemy. I want to be somebody being regarded to come back and to slay and to get rid of and burn. But we needed to know that. So that makes a difference. I don't want to know it when I'm sitting in no judgment line. You know, all of y'all here, you're an enemy. I'm killing every enemy. They're like, I can't do nothing now. I'm done. I don't want to find out everything wrong. I need to know what's wrong now So this is the only place you get to correct it. While you here in the living, you can't fix nothing. You're not thinking about, well, I'm pretty sure I had I think my sister-in-law, she looked at, it was people worse than her. Her or somebody I remember years, might not have been her, but somebody seemed like it was so many bad people. People did more stuff than them, that he'll be so busy with them as though they would kind of get by, theirs would be looked at as smaller. That's just a bad mind. But people will do that rather than regard what he tell them. I mean, who wouldn't want to believe that? There's people worse than you, and those worse people than you, he gonna be more head set on them than you, but eventually he gonna get to you. So the best time and the best chance we got is getting it now. What you do? What you do, man? Oh, you put it back on the ass. Look at that. There you go. You did good, fat man. All right, everybody all right? Let's get ready to stand. One for Shaquille! One for Shaquille! Shaquille! Woo! Woo! There come them good announcements, man. She got them good announcements. Like them biscuits. Where's Shaquille at?
Yo, Shanika, right here.
Father, thank you. See, y'all don't want to pull out. All right, that's a different crowd. Go ahead.
Everybody seen that how Monday is Nicole's birthday.
Okay, happy birthday.
And Tuesday is Austin and Brittany's anniversary.
Okay, happy anniversary. That's all right. I know, well, my wife's anniversary came up. I was at work. I had a job. Know where I was when Jake was born? I was at work. I had a job. Yeah. Happy anniversary. They're putting it out there. Oh, not throwing at them, just saying whoever. I didn't know I was at work. That's that. All laws clear, let's pull out. Kadash Shabbat, separated Father. Hadu again for allowing us to be here, which is thing. Hadu for Baraka, your Shamim, your Sabut, the height expansion where you dwell your army. Let Kabut and Kabad be into your Shem, which is your name. The glory and the honor for your worthy. For the Zabak, the sacrifice, the Kum, the resurrection of the Mut, which is of the death or the murder. The Dam, which is the blood that covered and redeemed us in due time. Hadu for the information that you grant us to understand that we were enemies and still enemies if we are walking, halaking, and performing the acts of kata, which are sin. Blot out our kataim and our ma'al, which are sins and transgressions, according to the Berith Shabbat, which is the covenant you vowed to Abraham, Yasakak, Jacob, the Yahudim, and to Yasharal and their Tuledah, which are their generations, even to us and our Tuledah and their Tuledah, that you'll recover us in due time, that you will lamed us by your Shalakim, your Ra'ah, your Mala'aki, which are your sent ones, your shepherd and your messengers, that you will Mashiach Depah, which is anointed mouth for the Debar that going forth, that it might dwell in us richly with all understanding, that you would seal us with the Ruach HaKadosh, which is the spirit of separation. Let your Pani, which is your face, let it or upon us, and your Pani, which is your presence, be our encampment and our protection, and be a fence around us. Make us of the Kodashim, the separated one. Make us Talmim complete. Make us joint heirs with the Mashiach. If it's anything we've done or said, please let it be kazoon to us, revealed, that we might know it, that we might turn from it, and we might halak in your debar, which is walking your word. Be a baraka to the married, the single, the separated, the sick and afflicted, the out-of-towners, those we commit to, that asked us to plow for them, that support your dabarim, those in authority whom you place for the execution of and the vindication. Be a baraka to behind prison walls, bereaved, war-stricken countries, those going through the effects of nature as we consider ourselves. Hadu for the conceit that you granted unto us, which is the favor, for the patience you granted, not cutting us off, for being a healer and a restorer to those that you recovered, those that are still afflicted and going through. We allow that you be with them and strengthen and recover them as well. Without you, we're nothing. We confess that we've gone wrong, that we've ignorantly and self-willed gone against you, but Hadu for you just allowing us to be limited, taught to know, till we can change and we can truly be the arm that you're seeking. Not with a big, large vocabulary, but with a large law that's open and ever so tender, that it can receive correction, that we can mortify our members, which is kill out, that we can be the arm that you seek in the last and Rosh Yamin, which is in the evil days. Baraka Jerusalem, the city foundation, Shalom. And when we've done all we can do here on this side, we palau, in which we ask for a Beth in your Malkuth, which is a home in your empire, where we can see your Pani, your face, and we can Tahalim, your Shem, which is praise your name. In the Shem of Yahushua, HaMashiach, we palau. Let us all say, Amen. Come home! Come home! A hobby. How we doing? You doing all right? Good. You doing all right?
Papa said I'm stupid.
Oh, yeah, we'll knock him out. Okay, we'll be looking. If you can't sing, don't come up here.
Papa,
No, we don't want him up here, huh?
does he have something with something else what climbing was? I had dinosaur. It's the dinosaur food.
Oh, okay.
I got Austin to say, he said your uncle too.
I see him, but
No, he'll come up here and I'm gonna knock him out later.
why can't you say?
I see you done.
I got wallet.
Ooh, I see it.
Why can't you knock him to the moon?
I need to knock him to the moon. Where y'all at? Y'all ready?
All right,
Here are all my best precious singers.
Oh, here comes one.
Who come?
Here comes that one.
Who come? Who?
Alex.
Alex not coming on here. Alex terrible singer. All right, y'all ready? So Alex ain't here. Let's hold up our fist so he'll know. Let's hold up our fist. Y'all ready? At the camera. No, let's hold up at the camera so wherever he at, he'll see us. Let's turn the camera. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3, hit it. Ra the little children. Ooh, all the children of the congregation. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Ra love the little children of the congregation. Woo! Come home, a hubby. Give my hug.